Happy Friday and welcome on in to Xbox On Today. My name is Bex and I'm not alone today. I'm joined by the wonderful, the almighty, the incredible Alec, Robbins and Mikey Spano from Squanch Games. Hello, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Doing great.
Thank you for being here. Glad you're good. Now, before we crack into your incredible new title, High on Life 2, could you tell us a little about yourselves, about what you've been up to at Squanch Games and what you do day to day? Let's start with you, Mikey, and then we'll crack on to Alec, if that's all right.
Sure, yeah. So I've been at Squanch Games since the beginning, pretty much. Before I joined, it was a publishing studio, and then I joined in with Eric Meyer, one of our other creative directors. I helped build out the team and everything, and so my title for the studio is Chief Creative Officer, and then on High on Life 2, I'm the creative director. I share that with Eric Meyer, who I was just talking about, and then art director.
Oh my gosh, so many roles. GGs.
I know, yeah, and I've been there almost 10 years now, which is like the longest I think I've ever done anything. So
wow.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a good studio. I love it.
Good, that's sick. Thanks, and congrats. Yeah. Alec, how about you? How long have you been there and what do you get up to?
Yeah, so I've been here about 6 years now. Started around, I think, in the pandemic, and never looked back.
Nice.
Been doing all the narrative direction for High on Life and High on Life 2. Basically oversee the entire writing process and all the voiceover directing and everything that touches narrative in any way, whether it's just text or the script or even the design in some places. Yeah. It's a comprehensive, very fun, very interesting job. I love working at Squanch.
Gosh, that sounds sick. I would love/hate to see your mind maps, because that sounds like a lot of spinning plates you guys have both got going on.
Mine, I can say for sure, is horrific. Alec is a lot cooler under pressure.
Amazing. Well, let's talk more about that and what you guys have been up to, especially on High on Life 2. A huge congratulations, by the way. We're 1 week after launch, and I, for one, have been thoroughly enjoying it. I've not got too far into it yet, but I love the first game, and I've just finished up on the cruise liner in nice. High on Life 2. So yeah, I'm really excited to be sharing this experience again with you guys and with you, chat, as well. Welcome on in. If you do have any questions for Mikey and Alec, then please do drop them in for chat, and if you're good, I might pass them on as well. You guys have kindly provided us with some cool stuff to give away today as well. So thank you very much to that. We have, chat, 3 times High on Life 2 press kits, which look so sick. There they are now, including a tech deck. That's incredible. Can you make up the tech deck? Have you guys been playing about with those yourselves in the office?
Yeah, the one that comes in the press kit too has like it's like in pieces with little tools,
you have to assemble
so you can like assemble it. It's really fun.
Gosh, that's so sick. We've also got some Humanza Pro merch. Very cool, very nice. Chat, we'll be giving away 3 lots of those, so to enter, be sure to drop us a follow, and when you're ready, type !HOL2. Right, shall we crack on and start the game? Are you guys okay with that? Do you mind if I launch up your game?
Please do.
Let's do it.
Fantastic.
Let's play a different game.
Yeah?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that'd be fun. We were just talking about Ball Pit. Let's play that real quick.
Oh, you want to play Ball Pit? Okay.
Yeah,
That's fair. What have you guys been playing recently, apart from High on Life 2, of course?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Ball Pit and Absalom, I think it's how you say it.
Oh, yeah, Absalom. I've been playing that too.
So good, yeah.
Sick.
Both of those are just right up my alley.
A lot of Street Fighter 6. That's like my de-stress game.
Yeah.
That sounds even more stressful, but I mean, you do you. That sounds sick.
It's only stressful if you're not good.
Yeah. See, I'm great at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for the read. Yeah, that's fair. That's on me. You're right. All right, we've got Sweezy straight away. Very cool. Glad to see her back.
She's awesome.
Oh yeah, voiced by Betsy Sodaro, who she's amazing to work with. She's so excited about the game.
She's so funny. I mean, I say that everyone is so funny involved in this. I don't know.
You're right. Yeah, thank you for clarifying. She's funny, but so is everybody else in the cast.
Oh, before you sit in the host chair, you can. Oh, too late. Well, anyway, You can actually go and mess around and sit in the audience here and mess with the host for a bit if you wanted to.
Yeah, there's a whole secret line.
I
There's an
did
open
do
chair
that.
in the
I'm so
scene.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm immediately going off our scripted rehearsed.
I don't think that's true because I don't remember that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you'll be able to do that with anyway. So
okay, I'll take it slower and you guys point it out to me. We did do that last week. I didn't miss it the first time around. I promise. I shared some secrets.
Doing it 2 different ways is good.
In most games, including this one, I have been sure to go and speak to all of the speakable NPCs as well.
Nice.
I've been exploring every nook and cranny, so I shan't miss another.
That's the right way to play. We fill the game. It's there's a guy to talk to everywhere.
Yeah.
I love that. I yearn for the social interaction.
Yeah.
I love this part, by the way. Last week I drew our producer Steve, so that went well. But I feel a little more like there's a tiny bit of pressure with an art director watching now.
I bet it's better than what I can do with this. I play with a controller usually, so it's real tough to draw something cool.
Oh, that's a challenge for sure.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I welcome. I'm grateful for this opportunity. What were you guys kind of playing around with here? What were kind of some of the weirdest creations that people drew on our bounty hunter?
Oh god, there was one that was a caveman looking guy that I love.
I saw that. I just saw someone drew like a really impressive anime girl that
I was waiting for that.
Our work Slack, yeah.
Was
awesome. That with mouse, I'm guessing, and not on controller,
it
or
looks,
was it?
Based on their UI, I think they were using a controller.
Wow,
so even more impressive.
That's talent. Can you guys guide me a little bit? What should I draw here?
I like a face. That's where I'd start at least.
No.
Maybe give yourself 5 eyes.
Yeah.
That's my first pitch.
Draw Alec.
Yeah, draw me.
Put you on the spot hardcore.
This is great. Alec, I've noticed you have really bright blue eyes.
Oh,
that's so true. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
That's the secret to success of the studio.
Bright blue eyes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oof.
Oof. Oh, oof.
Not the drawing. The drawing's
the line.
beautiful.
They said they thought I was hotter.
Yeah, they're ripping on Alec hard. I mean, the drawing is terrible too, but.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, it's beautiful. It looks just like Alec.
Stunning. What was
I thought your eyes would be closer together.
What were you guys? What were you thinking, basically, with this little startup montage? What was the vision that you wanted to convey to us players?
I mean, we did a really fun opening in the first game where you played a fake video game called Buck Thunder.
Yeah.
And we wanted to top that somehow, but we also had the problem of needing to fill in players with, what has been happening in between the first game and this game, and also recapping it for players who are jumping in without playing the first. So we decided, well, what if we basically did a catch-up montage that doubled as a tutorial, and that way we can catch everyone up to speed. We can throw some jokes in there, show off our narrative design, and also make it a little interesting. And I think it took a lot of work. This took a lot of iteration. It used to be like twice as long, and we really had to chop away and make it feel tight and snappy. But it was a big, ambitious idea to do jump cuts and make every area load immediately as you're playing through it. And it was kind of a big project spearheaded by our design director, Eric. And our writing team also wrote a bunch of really interesting, fun, quick catch-up scenes to fill you in with each of the new guns or your family and everything that's going to be happening in the game, and where you're sort of left off, and where Lizzie's kind of finding herself before the game starts, your sister. It was really fun. I really love this part. And you ever play 30 Flights of Loving? There was another game that from years and years ago that also did French New Wave jump cuts that Eric and I were really inspired by and wanted to try our hand at sort of putting our own spin on.
That's really sick. I didn't kind of think about that before, about how even technically challenging that would be to get loads of different scenes in, of course.
Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, and like the smallest thing would derail it too. Like if the music wasn't playing at the right time, or if it was missing, it's like this is just not fun anymore. What happened? And it's like the tiniest thing. It's crazy how much of a house of cards something like this is.
Well, I love it.
This is one of the things that I was most nervous about for some reason. Because a lot of stuff in the game, I just sort of like, I felt confident. We're doing a cool idea. This is going to be great. Everyone's going to love it. But this one, I went through every range of emotions for a minute there. I was like second guessing the entire thing. I'm like, oh, we got to change the entire intro.
Yeah, and I know our CEO was nervous about it too. And then by the end, we were like, this is great. And I think he was still nervous that it's like, players just want to get in and play the game. And then he was like, I'm wrong. I was wrong. People love it. It's great.
I was going to say, I get the nervousness a little bit of, I guess this is first impressions. So of course you kind of want to make it well, but I think you guys have smashed it. As much as I've smashed this drawing. Alec, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd say that's right in line.
I think that looks just like me.
Those
it might as well be a photograph. Yeah, thank you so much.
Perfect. I'm going to confirm now.
Yeah, the hair's spot on.
Forever.
So, you've beaten so many bad guys and saved so many lives, but what's your favorite part of being a famous bounty hunter?
Yeah, then this here too is like, we wanted to change the dialogue choices a little bit this time around, so now they're each tied to a specific gun or weapon that you have.
Yeah.
And so when you're making a choice, you're kind of picking which personality you want to speak for you, and I think that adds a lot compared to the first game, which was just more dialogue choice based.
That's a really interesting point in terms of where do you kind of start with the Gatlians? Like, do you kind of start with their personality in mind first, or do you kind of like write some of the story and kind of tie it back to which Gatlian fits in best?
It's a little different for each gun. I mean, sometimes we're starting from the point of, hey, we want a battle rifle, and then we're thinking about, well, what kind of personality would a battle rifle have? Other times we're starting from like, we really want to work with this actor, let's build a gun around them. And so in the case of, like, for instance, Sheath, the battle rifle you'll get in the Muppy-Doo mission, I think that started as a sniper rifle at one point, and then we were talking about it as a battle rifle, and we were imagining a sort of no-nonsense deadpan hitman type character. And very early on, we were like, well, that would have to be Ralph Ineson if we could get him. And we did, and he was amazing in it. And we've also done, like, you know, the opposite end where we knew we wanted a married couple gun. I think that started before we even knew what kind of gun they would be. And we'd worked with both Ken Marino and Gabourey Sidibe before and thought, oh my god, they would be really funny as a married couple.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we a lot of times we'll sort of do the manifestation thing where it's like you draw a gun, you design it based on the person you want to be, and like in a lot of cases we can send them the concept when we ask, so they'll kind of feels like they're already involved. So with Ralph, I was blown away that we got him. I concepted that gun based fully on like just assuming he was going to go for it, and he did, and it worked out way better than I ever could have hoped. He's just crushed it.
Yeah, there are a lot of actors who you think we wouldn't be able to get, and we just reach out and ask, and they're down.
That's so sick.
We've had 2 Oscar winners in our games at this point.
Who's the other? I mean, Gabourey Sidibe.
Susan Sarandon.
Oh, Susan Sarandon, of course.
Yeah, or at least she was nominated. I can't remember if she actually won or not.
Surely.
Still, we should be marketing our game as Oscar winning.
I know, honestly. Hey, I'm all for it.
You must be up there with like the Oscar winner ratio to actor, like in terms of games. Surely.
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah.
We even have we even have a legendary director in our game.
That's right, we do.
John Waters.
Yeah,
really?
That was another one where I just thought, no way.
I don't know why he said yes, and we're so grateful he did.
Yeah, I think he's doing a show or something now too. Like he's kind of getting more out there again.
It's the final week of
I'm so
he was
impressed.
in Search Party, I remember. Yeah, he shows up.
I love Search Party. Yeah.
I'm impressed that you guys like you say about manifesting them. Like, so a lot of these guys were your first choice, and they were obviously rightly so. We're, like,
I think they all were, and we typically have like, I guess, a first choice technically, but we like to have like 3 top choices, which makes it a little bit better. In some cases, we don't even think about an alternative, but usually we're designing those guns a little bit earlier because we know if it doesn't work out, we can pick somebody else. But sometimes it's like, oh, we gotta we got to cast this thing, and so we'll pick a few people, and usually one of them works out. And for the guns, I think we've been pretty lucky. I don't think we've really had recasts or anything.
That's so cool.
We've for most guns, I think we always really got who we wanted early on, and if we didn't, then we were just still trying to figure it out. It was a tough, Frankie was one that I think we came to a little later with Bowie. We couldn't figure out exactly who we wanted in the role, and then once we realized Frankie would be a perfect fit, it was like immediate. I can't imagine it without anyone else in the role.
It's perfect. Yeah. I think the initial thought when I painted him up, Bo, we were talking about the bow and arrow. I think the expectation was he was sort of like a Robin Hood character. So some of the original dialogue, like our writers will sometimes record dialogue to throw in so we get a sense of what the character's going to feel like. And so we had a writer do it, and it was kind of a Renaissance fair kind of vibe for Bowie.
Oh, yeah.
And it made sense in the context of the game. Like, it would have been the obvious choice. But it just wasn't weird enough, I think. So Alec worked on this show called Dress Up Gang with Frankie Quinones, and he's like so funny in that show. And I was like, "Do you think we could get him?" Alec's like, "Yes, I'm pretty sure we can get him," and we got him. And it was like so last minute too. It was like right before we announced the game. Actually, we announced the game without having someone cast for Bo, even though we showed him, and then. I think we did like an Xbox behind the scenes thing, and we had just found out who Bowie was.
And then, like, at that point, once we get like a performer in the role, especially if it's coming later, we honestly rewrite all the dialogue for that character to match that actor a little better.
Exactly.
So at that point, there were lines pretty late in the game that were written in more of that like old English Ren Fair style, and then we rewrote them all to fit Frankie's personality instead.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
think
cool.
we kind of tend to do stuff that's like funny and makes sense, and then we're like, yeah, it's funny and it makes sense, but maybe we could do something weirder or unexpected. And so sometimes we're like, just throw that part out. Now we're gonna do this weird thing instead. And then usually we get like a little piece of that weirdness into everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of like ideas we've had where we don't want to rest on our laurels. Like, there are certain missions later in the game that we were like, this is pretty unique, but it's not quite like a Squanch Games idea yet.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we'll frustrate everyone else at the company by being like, we got to figure out what the juice is here.
Yeah.
Like there's a level later on where you hunt down Professor Burkle that we had to kind of add a little more to before we were happy with.
Yeah, it's a crazy weird level already, and so we kind of thought that's what would carry the weirdness, but we also realized there's a lot of similar levels in other games, and like while it was really funny and cool, it just needed like something for people to talk about, and so spoilers for people who haven't got that far. I'll wait just a second. It had we had basically ghost mummies that we put inside Gessie. She ostensibly ate a ghost ship. You would expect pirates, which was weird, but not weird enough. So we made them like ghost pirate mummies.
That's sick.
It's so fun. It's so insane.
The hook like started as what if you went inside of a giant sea creature's corpse and explored that, but then we're like, well, the push is what if there were also ghosts?
Yeah. And then that silly little ghost idea turned into like part of the narrative in the game, and I think it's really cool.
Stuff.
Yeah, it gave us a little metaphysical angle to play with.
A lot of yes-anding in the studio going on then.
1,000%. Yeah.
Can you guys help me choose a bachelor really quickly?
I always pick the slug.
I always pick the slug too, but you can't lose. They're all good.
They're all good. I picked the slug last time, but
I just love that shiny skin.
I think the slug designs are our best designs.
Actually, speaking of Absalom, I noticed they must have been using a similar reference of a real slug, because they have a shopkeeper that looks just like that slug you just talked to, and I was like, oh my god, we must have definitely been pulling from the same reference.
I do love my favorite character or NPC I've come across so far is the Flint Turtle guy on the cruise ship.
I love that one.
The kid who really likes Flint Turtles.
So freaking cool.
That's voiced by me. That's my high-pitched modified voice. Yeah.
It is.
No way!
That character's my favorite. The scene where you're fighting on the deck and he's begging you to use it. Yeah.
I've accepted I've come to terms with my death already.
Yeah, he's such a cool character.
Oh, that's sick. Well done, Alex. Such a good job.
Thank you.
Oh, for people watching, yeah, this is your mom and one of your old guns having a little side relationship.
Mom, how could you?
Yeah.
That was a fun puzzle because we ended the first game with this overpowered gun named Let's Do It, and we're like, well, we can't start the player with that gun again. They're going to be too strong.
Right.
So the way we kind of wrote him out of the arsenal was to have him be with your mom now.
Yeah, yeah. We did a similar thing with Harper. We knew we wanted to bring in a new pistol, which is it's actually Travis and Jan. So we didn't need Harper, so we gave her to Lizzie, and it worked out really well. It makes sense in the story. It feels like there's a bit of a division where Lizzie's going off with Harper, but then when they come back together, it has a nice little resolution.
You guys
And
have
then, of course, we made sure the dad was completely alone.
I know.
Yes,
I felt really bad for him just there, leaving him even more alone.
It is a beautifully rendered bachelor pad. I love that divorced dad apartment.
It's perfect. It's so perfect. Yeah, our lead artist Colby, towards pretty close to the end of the game, we had a lot of people that don't make games might not know this, but you make a lot of stuff and it's kind of everywhere. And then the last 4 to 6 months or so, you look around, you're like, oh my gosh, there's all this stuff we have to finish. And so then it starts to come together. And then we gave Colby a task of spending some time making a bunch of these little unique scenes in the intro. And so fast, he knocked out every single one of these scenes.
I feel like I blinked
himself.
and they were all in.
It's insane. Yeah,
That's
he's
so
a
impressive.
freak of nature. Yeah. Shout out to Colby Wall. Couldn't have made this game without you.
Well done, Colby. Thank
all
you
these
for your
jump
service.
cuts. Yeah, Colby for real. All these jump cuts have to look completely different, and it's just not efficient, economical game design.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's completely designed up. You see most of these places for 10 seconds max. So
Yeah, and we do try to reuse stuff, but for this game, almost at every moment is unique and special. So there's so much custom work that's done in here. I mean, I feel like we needed a team of 500 people, and we had 80. And that's the whole studio, including HR, office management, and stuff. So I'm not sure about the number of devs, but very small.
Yeah, there's a gag that I always think about from the old TV show Spaced that Edgar Wright directed.
Yeah.
Love that show.
Where they cut it's for a 2-second cut. They show Nick Frost's character's bedroom, and it's this overgrown jungle that they probably put I don't know, $10,000 into production designing. You see it for 2 seconds, they never go back, and I'm like, that's the kind of gag that you really appreciate, where you have to explain we're gonna spend a lot of money to do something that you'll see for 3 seconds.
Yeah. Maximum effort, minimum payout.
It'll be so worth it. I
and
promise.
then never reuse it.
Yeah.
No,
but
I
hey,
love
that's the magic.
That is.
Yeah, for real.
I love
Make
that.
lots of trade-offs.
Throwaway bits. I wanted to ask you guys actually, on that subject, and also kind of what you were speaking about earlier about, just keeping going until what's the one-upmanship or whatever. How do you kind of decide when you've one-upped the one-upped enough and you're settled on the final kind of version?
Typically, we'll get me and Alec and Eric. We do all of the initial creative direction for what we want to do in an area. So Alec also, I would say, I'm not sure if it's credited, but he did creative direction with Eric, and I mostly focused on the narrative side. So really, we kind of have all the directors involved in the creative direction process. But anyway, we'll usually get in a room, the three of us, and we'll make this really cool thing with all these ideas, and then at the end one of us will get stuck on something, and it's just you could tell everybody's tired, ready to settle on an idea, and it's it's still just something's not right, and then we finally figure it out, and then usually in that meeting we'll get from nothing all the way to surprisingly what we ended up in the game. There weren't a lot of changes in terms of the overall structure and direction.
Yeah, we talked about this one meeting we had at the beginning of production. We kind of mapped out, I would say 80% of the game structure. We still made a lot of changes. We adjusted a bunch, but it's kind of shocking how much we decided in that meeting that did end up in the game.
Yeah. We find that usually first idea, best idea, you know. So sometimes we'll be like, this isn't right, and start to wander off, and inevitably we come right back to where we started, you know.
That's so
Yeah, a lot of stuff
interesting.
that we get very excited about, like the Muppy Doo boss fight. I know we thought of there, and the finale of the game being what it is, which I won't spoil. We thought of there.
I like the finale because it's like there's so much you can do there that you can torture yourself, really, you know, if you wanted to, and not literal torture. That's not what it is, but so, you know, some people like more information, some people like less, and there's just so much you can do there that it's almost cruel, which is like hilarious to me, that players are like, oh my god, you know, like what am I doing?
You can also completely bypass
you can literally just skip it.
When we make a big swing like that, I mean, even with the murder mystery, which a lot of players have seen already, like
that was so good.
if it's thank you, yeah, if it's a moment that's kind of slowing down the pace a little bit, even if it's for a really fun reason, we do want to give players the option to just skip it. So with the murder mystery, you can immediately go up to the podium and just make a guess, or say you don't care, and then that way you're turning probably 45-minute, hour-long gameplay segment into a 2-minute one, and then we're like, yeah, whatever, you didn't want to see it.
Yeah, up to you.
Yeah, I was scolded by yourself, Alec, because you also play Suto, and for skipping one of the laser puzzles. I didn't mean to, but Suto kindly put me right, and I was like, okay, sorry about that. But no, I really enjoy the pace because I appreciate that, like in movies and games anyway. But it's really present here. Of sometimes there are slower moments and really fast paced ones, but it's really cool that you guys intentionally made those to the player's choice depending on what they want to do there. That's cool.
Yeah, the pacing is a big thing for us, and I feel like our game is always trying something completely different and new that, like, you know, within the span of an hour, you could be shooting, you could be doing a murder mystery, you could be solving a puzzle, you could be just standing around listening to a comedy bit. Like, it's we're trying to always be doing something different and never too much of the same thing in a row, and if it's a long one, like we said, we usually let you skip it.
And Alec and Eric and we all have different preferences too, so it's nice that we have the ability to put choices in that satisfy the different types of gamers. It's actually really beneficial there. Ooh. And Eric's a PC player, I'm a console player, so we kind of have eyes on both all the time. It leads to lots of cool stuff. So players like me who are super ADD and just want to get out there and shoot stuff, we have options for that. Players, I think Eric's more of a technical puzzly kind of guy, and so he tends to lean on like fun traversal stuff and puzzles, and then Alex just likes it all, I think, but also very very into like the narrative and the story, and so like you have an option to just dig in. Like, it's funny to talk to people about the murder mystery in particular, because there are people that like just love it and they go through every little detail and they think this is the coolest thing ever. And then there are people that are like, oh man, like I just want to play the game. And the first time I played it, I was blown away. The second time I was like, I just want to skip this. And and so, you know, we have that option now. You can literally just go up and say, I don't know, and then it just ends right then. And it's so great. And I just love that we accommodate that.
To what Mikey is saying too, like the fact that we each kind of get antsy in different parts of the games means that we're always giving feedback that makes those parts a little more palatable to someone who wouldn't normally have the taste for them. Like Mikey always is pitching, well, can I like fiddle with something while the character's talking?
Yes.
We usually add it, and it usually makes it feel a lot better.
Yeah, like the little like doodle pad during the murder mystery is because I'm ADD and I just wanted to doodle.
That's so sick. What is what part of the game, if it's like maybe a full section or even like an item or something, what is the most you part of the game for each of you?
Oh, for me it's the visuals. I mean, I just feel like that's just right out of my heart, and it's unbelievably cool that I get to make like one of the weirdest, stupidest looking games that's actually looks really nice, and all the characters are great. Like it's really cool to have a team that can support just like literally some of the dumbest character designs and level designs of all time, you know.
In the first game, there was a little place called Cutie Town.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could like kind of warp in a miniature town and sort of Godzilla stomp all over it.
Yeah.
And that's the one I always go to. Like that's the sort of thing that is pure Alec. Where even with that, I think that was an entirely improvised rant that we ended up just putting in the game wholesale that I did at my desk with a non-professional microphone. And like that's the sort of thing where every once in a while you can just put a full wholesale bit of yourself into the game at Squanch. We really are collaborative and open, and we let a lot of people sort of go big with their ideas. And I mean, that's the sort of stuff I really love. So anytime when I get to like dump a almost fully fleshed out idea into the game, like the murder mystery too, that was a huge writing process. That was my big baby.
Yeah.
And it took 2 or 3 rewrites to get it working right and to make it feel like a plausible, like fair, satisfying mystery. We played a lot of Golden Idol and Obra Dinn to prep for that.
I love Golden Idol. Oh my
It's
gosh.
so good.
That game is so hard for someone like me. I'm like reading it over and over, and I'm like, come on.
Meanwhile, Eric and one of our producers, Maddie, were obsessed with that game. Like, so,
Yeah.
so
Like if I have to
really,
physically write something down, I'm like,
I'm
can't
out.
do it.
Okay, yeah,
it's our homage to the Golden Idol.
Yeah.
I mean, I played that like right. I was completely stumped with this murder mystery, and I replayed Golden Idol, and it just cracked the whole thing open. So thank you to those guys for really helping me out there.
I will say I love the art in that game, and I wish I had the
It's so
patience to get
gorgeous.
through it. But it's a beautiful game, and everything I've heard is amazing. So
Have you guys
One
played
day.
in Blueprints as well?
yeah.
I like
That-
Blueprints.
I like that one conceptually a lot, but I think for
There's a
me,
lot more going on, but
I have to like write stuff. As soon as I have to write something down, I'm like, damn it, I'm not going to come back to this, even though I liked it.
Yeah, I'm a notes pervert. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A notebook.
Totally.
Okay.
Like, and seriously, that's why what we do, I think, works for a lot of people. You know, it doesn't have to work for everybody, but it works for at least our 3 archetypes that we have. It's cool to hear people's different experiences. Sometimes people dig into the lore way more than I ever would, and so people say something, and I'm like, is that right? Oh, okay, cool. Like, that's good to know.
sure. Yeah. I was going to ask you something about like one of the alien races or whatever. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah,
No, it is,
that's
sure.
that's an alien. Yep.
Sometimes I look at the fan wikis to see what they've decided.
Yeah. I
canon
can't tell
lore.
you how many times I search the internet for a reference because I don't feel like going through our files. You know, like
same.
what does Gene look like, and so I just look him up.
Oh.
It's great.
What's so funny is when I start Googling stuff from the game we haven't released yet. You know, like
Yeah, I've done that before
partway
too.
through our development, I'm like Googling a character that nobody knows about except
Yes.
the team.
You're like, why is nothing
What am I
coming
doing?
up?
Why would I? Yeah, what am I thinking?
Totally.
Oh. So we're here in our Bounty Hunter Museum. Again, catching up the players, I'm guessing, with some of the lore from the first one.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is what Alec was mentioning earlier. You know, we wanted to tell the story from the first game. Well, actually, technically from the end of the DLC from the first game, which had Harper in it, to this point. And so the part that's new is in that intro. And so then when you finish that, and like you can't skip that intro, you know, you're kind of taking it in as you play, so everybody's getting that info. When you land in the museum, if you already played the first game and you're a big fan, you already know all that stuff. So the museum is pretty optional, right? It's just you want to get a couple funny lines. But if you haven't played the first game and you want to learn more about what happened, we give you the option to just stay in here and explore as long as you want and learn about all the bounties you turned in the last game and all the different characters. It was one of the early ideas we had, and we just kind of sicked Alec on the writing, and then from there we kind of built out the space around it, and and of course the house being inside the museum was a really important part of that. So we knew we couldn't lose the museum, and so we kind of packed it. And I think it turned out really well. I think it's a cool idea that we had, and I always feel like I'm being cocky talking about how much I love the game, but it's such a big team with so many people that it's like my own personal impact, is whatever, and then you got everybody else's work that you can be really into and be proud of.
I think you're so right to be cocky as well. You should. If I had an iota of impact in here, I'd be talking about it till the cows come home. I'll be talking about this stream for eons to come. So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something I always worry about, is coming across as too confident when we talk about the game, but I do genuinely just think it's really cool and I really like it. So it's hard to be too modest about it.
No, I'm proud of it.
I think it's really cool.
Good. Be proud. We're catching up with Jean now to see what's happening with Lizabelle.
Yeah, so this is Lizzie getting...
She's got a new look.
Basically, she's very highly wanted right now by this bounty network.
That's not good.
Alec,
I really like that we started. Yeah, like this is fun because, you know, the first game, you're always going back to your house and using the bounty 5000 to select a new bounty. And we shake up the formula here. You're not going to be using your bounty 5000 for 90% of the game, but it was really fun to start it out with a twist where it's like, well, what if you had to use the bounty 5000 and select your sister as a bounty? And of course, I think, you know, when you click it, you're not really going there to kill Lizzie. You're going there to save her, but it's, you know, it's a way to like play off the formula of the first game and sort of break it down for you. Yeah, I mean, we had this idea for the plot where what if this time around the bad guys were doing everything by the books? It's instead of this, you know, drug cartel, it's a legal drug cartel, which is a pharmaceutical company, and it's you know, it's this approach where they're actually like branding humans as this wonder drug. And they're doing it legally. They have politicians and billionaires and everyone else on their side. So how do you stop something like that? Well, you actually have to be branded as a criminal if you want to take down, you know, a racket that's following all the rules. So Lizzie is sort of ahead of you in that story, and you're going to catch up with her in this mission and sort of switch over to her side and start to do something that matters again, because your character's been coasting a bit on their fame and going on talk shows and dating shows and Wipeout and all that. Yeah,
you can kind of see at the end of the intro when you're just stabbing people over and over, the guns, like, if you watch, they're getting more and more bored, and then the commentary is like, and then finally Knifey's like, just getting boring. And it kind of sets up that Lizzie's like been busting her ass trying to save humans, and you didn't even know it was going on because you were so focused on your celebrity aspect, you know.
Fame.
It was, I think it was, in my head it was hard to do, and Alec and his team just nailed it. Feels great.
I think we needed something meaty for the, you know, to hang the entire story on this time around, and I feel like this really gave us a lot of juice for the whole game.
For sure.
It's a lot. I think it's a lot more interesting than just being a bounty hunter. I think this fuels every single story beat in the game, and it's really, really helpful.
And this zoo was another like core part of the design we had from the very beginning. We wanted to have a couple little hub spaces on this big ring, and we had the idea of a city, and then we had the idea of this harbor, what's where the cruise ship mission takes place, and you can kind of see up there, that's the city up there. And then the zoo, we were gonna, you know, bring in like enemies and stuff from the first game and also their stuff, and then we were like, well, we just want to show new stuff, you know. Like, so we've got like a bunch of new enemies. There might be one or two old ones in the mix hanging out, but we really wanted to try and show off as much new stuff as we could.
That's really cool. I like these guys.
Yeah. I love that chant too. It's funny.
The chants make me laugh.
It's non-stop in my head. I walk around my house just saying it.
I like the long chants where they're talking about how they don't rhyme and how they
So funny. Yeah.
Is the dialogue that like most commonly gets stuck in your head, or do you guys constantly have like the battle music playing?
Yes,
oh God,
yeah. I'm a huge Tobacco fan. You know, that's another surprise get. I was playing this game called Star Wall, which is a really fun party game if you've never played it. It's just like kind of like the multiplayer in Towerfall with some twists to it. And there was a Tobacco song on there, and I was like, oh my God, he would do a song for a game. And so we reached out and got him to do an insane amount of music for us for both games, and we try to use his songs in all of our trailers and stuff. And he's great to work with. He's awesome. You know, this time it was trickier because he was touring for his other alter ego, Black Moth Super Rainbow, and so we were kind of like in between touring and stuff, trying to make sure we were getting what we needed from him. But he's a machine, so we always have lots to pull from.
Yeah, I can't imagine the game without him.
Yeah. And you know, it's definitely a unique enough sound that like, if you're not into it, like, I'm sorry, you know, but it's like, if you're into it, it's so good.
It's sick, yeah. It seems like you guys just have been really blessed in that you get to work with a lot of creatives that maybe like fit your vibe, or you kind of maybe look up to in a way. a lot of the time. Is there anyone who you would really like to collaborate? Who's your dream kind of? Could be someone like an actor, maybe even another dev or musician?
do have a white whale.
Oh,
For actors, we before we die, we need to work with Danny DeVito.
Yeah, that's the one we keep calling
coming back
out.
to.
He's the
Incredible.
only one we've never really even gotten a response from. I think.
really?
What sort of like?
I don't think we've even reached out really because
Yeah, I think we were told not
it's a
to because
little-
it's like
yeah.
not even gonna happen.
That's that's
we should
really,
though. We need to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Danny,
so-
if you're watching this,
Yes, please. This is probably the third
Call
or
us.
fourth call out. Let's do it. Come on.
we got
But
you.
I gotta go to that record in person. I gotta shake the man's hand because he's just he's just such a funny, awesome dude. As far as I know, I don't know anything about his personal life. Who knows? Maybe he's on the Epstein list or something. I have no idea. I
Fingers
doubt
crossed,
it.
no, but we'll
Yeah.
we
in
never know.
my head, he's got a beautiful soul, and I love him.
I think so too. I think he does.
I think he's clean.
yeah.
My fiance is very similar in that he probably, if he could meet anyone, it would be Danny, and he was hoping that he maybe got his chance because we actually have a cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito, like one of those
Nice.
life-size ones.
That's awesome.
And so when he used to live with his pals before we moved in, they would, typical, no offense, boys, but they would use that as their Christmas tree and put fairy lights around it instead of having an actual Christmas
That's
tree
awesome.
for years.
That's good.
I love that.
Oh, Danny.
That's not a gendered activity. Anyone.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
excuse me, you're right. That was very woke of me. No, sorry.
We at my house we do anti-Christmas. We have like a black tree with red lights, and every
Sick.
year I sculpt like a different topper for it. That's like satanic Baphomet kind of thing. Like I've got a failed print over here of the one I did last year.
Let's see.
Where is it?
Oh, cool,
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, it has like a whole back and everything, but my good prints are somewhere inside.
So you'll just like 3D print those off and put them on your tree. You'll just design
Yeah.
that. Oh, how jealous I am to just be have
Yeah, like-
the ability to be like, oh, I think of something cool. Let me make that.
Here's another one I 3D printed recently. That is, it's like a weird kind of weird guy.
That's so
I've-
cool.
So sick.
Yeah.
He is a weird little guy.
Weird little guy.
I
To me, he
really-
looks normal.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Danny DeVito.
Oh, I love these guys too much.
The
Oh,
little
this
kid.
is so
Oh
fun.
my
Yeah,
god.
we had honestly we just thought it would be way better if we had an actual child voicing some of the kids
Yeah.
in the game. And I literally texted everyone I knew who had a young son or daughter, had them send over some lines via their phone. This kid Ben Milstein really killed it. He was just exactly the right vibe I was looking for.
It is so cute, and I don't know how he actually acted at the same time. It's just mind blowing.
We got the best takes. There were a lot of
bet.
child messing around, touching the microphone takes, but
Yeah.
he did a great job. And the other character in the scene is Joel Haver playing the dad here, who we love working with. He's one of our good luck charms.
Yeah, Joel's definitely one of our workhorses, and just anytime we have a funny character, like, yeah, Joel could do that, And sometimes I'll hear lines before I even knew what they were that Alec and Joel already did, and I'm like, perfect. I'm glad. Like, it's great. Yeah, that's another good thing too about our studio is we've got people who can voice act, like Alec, obviously, and some of our other writers too are in the game, but they're in like writing shows and things like that prior to working at Squanch, so they have a network of people that they can pull from that they trust, that they could come in and do a quick voice for us, favor here, favor there, and then we end up with a lot of really great surprising people in here thanks to that little network they've got.
That's so sick.
Yeah, Joel is the type of voice actor that is kind of the perfect fit for the studio, where he really understands games and has the skills as an improviser to sort of go a little bit off the rails without breaking anything.
I wanted to ask
we love
that
to
a little.
improvise. Yeah.
If you guys kind of let the VOs, kind of improvise a little bit when you guys
Yeah.
are in studio, or what do you think works best?
It's a big part of our style, I think, is that we do like the improvising. Not a lot of games do it, not because they don't want to, but because it's kind of a hard thing to do in video games where everything has to be so tightly controlled. So we work with a lot of really funny performers who know how to just, make something funny out of thin air. But the problem is not all of them play video games and don't understand the medium as well as they could. So we try to work with people who get it, and if they don't, we have to really fill them in and explain, like, well, here's what you are able to improvise. And, Joel is a great example of someone who just, like, he plays a bunch of games. He knows what limitations there are and what he can't improvise, what he can't go off on. And he gets where the boundaries are. So, I mean, whenever we're able, we really go nuts. But there are also parts of the games that are tightly scripted that you can't really go off book for.
For sure. And sometimes there'll be, like, I guess you could call them bloopers, or someone read a line wrong or laughed or something.
Yeah.
And sometimes those are the selects we go with.
Before
and
you
they're
shoot
really
anything,
funny.
I just want to let you know there's an option here. You could shoot Lizzie.
Yeah, you can beat the game right now. Go for it. Yeah, go ahead and win.
Go on, win.
You can do it.
I feel really bad doing it.
Oh my god!
Wow, I can't believe you did that. I'm the first one who's ever done that.
Guys, no, please.
Look how sad.
And one of our producers, Ash, produced this song. Which
You
is
know what
very-
though? Look, you saved your parents' marriage. Look, I never thought about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't read that as back together. I read that as just putting their differences aside.
Well, everybody sees what they want.
Oh god. Oh no.
Yeah, this song is so funny to me. It's like the completely different tone for the game.
Yes, and again, this is someone on the team that made this. Ash, what is Ash's title? He's like writing producer, or what would
narrative producer, I think.
Narrative
something like
producer.
that, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There he is.
Yeah,
Ash.
we've had Ash for a bit, and so he does music on the side too, and he's a really funny guy, and
Wow.
this is just very funny song.
Yeah, he just came back with this demo. We're like, yeah, this is so funny.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, thank you guys. It's been really good chatting to you. I guess we'll
see you
just
later.
wrap up here.
Bye.
Did I get an achievement for that as well?
I think so.
You do,
Heck
yeah.
It's
You should
all
try to
worth it
kill
then.
her again when you come back too, because we even accounted
yeah.
for that.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's more lines.
There's so many little like rabbit holes you can go down.
Wait, look, everybody! It's the mystery killer!
But yeah, sorry to cut you off, Mikey.
I'd never know what I'm saying, so it's all good.
I just didn't want to miss that.
Yeah.
Sweezy just said, "Chill out. I already got the fake ending."
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much dialogue that you just can't hear in one playthrough because you only get like one of 7 options sometimes.
Yeah.
And a lot of times players don't even realize that they're making a choice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. There's so
it's-
many
yeah.
choices everywhere.
like in a game like Baldur's Gate, which is 10 times bigger than ours, you do really get a sense that like you want to play again because you want to see what happened if you did something else. We're not always signposting when you've made a choice like that, so hopefully if you play the game a few times, you'll be like, oh my god, I did something completely different there last time. I didn't know they wrote a whole other version here.
Well,
There are things that some people who make our game on our team don't even know we put in the game.
Yeah. I've seen things in streams where it was on the first game, the first game came in really hot at the end too, and so a lot of things that were planned just came in so fast that some of the stuff I was seeing it for the first time, somebody else playing it on the stream.
that's sick.
Which is so fun. Yeah,
That
I mean,
must
that's
be
the
really
joy
fun,
of the
yeah.
studio. It really is.
Yeah.
I guess
There's a part
that's,
coming up in the zoo where you have to get past a security guard, and there's probably like 12 completely different routes
Oh my
to take.
god, I love
and you
that one.
Yeah, you can mix and match them too. Like you can do like little bits of each path, and so everyone's experience with the security guard is like kind of its own unique thing.
But we'll
Yeah.
see how I do. You can judge it
Yeah.
out of 10. Let's go with. I will say, I literally just finished Baldur's Gate 3 very recently, and I take a lot of, like I kind of said earlier, I'm such a goody two shoes when it comes to for play style and stuff. I like
Sure.
doing everything the nice way, but
You're the paladin.
yeah.
I'm that way too. I always am so nice.
Oh.
I don't like being mean in
Yeah.
games.
But I do appreciate that.
Second
like,
playthrough is for being mean.
Yeah.
Can't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to, what's her name? Shadowheart? Was that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so in love with that character. I would never do her wrong.
Me too. I wanted her to like me so bad, and she
I
just
know. I
wouldn't.
kept getting rejected. I'm like, come on.
I remember I would like come across a guy I don't like I was annoyed with Gale, so I was like kind of torturing Gale.
Yeah. Gale was definitely a well actually guy.
Yeah, but that's so fun to me. Like they knew. I think they kind of want you to have a couple.
Totally, yeah. They hit all those archetypes. It's funny, you know. I haven't played D&D in a bit because I've been busy, but one of our D&D campaigns had such similar characters that I just saw my friends as those characters. It was pretty funny.
That's so funny.
One of them, like the what's that guy's name? The vampire guy.
Asterion.
Yeah, Asterion. Yeah, he was totally one of the old animators that we used to work with, named Dave, and like his personality is just like exactly the same. It was so funny.
He's another one people like to torture.
Yeah.
Here's Repticle, voiced by Whitmer Thomas. He's so good. He's the dad in Weapons who stabs himself in the face of him.
Yes.
Oh, no way!
Spoilers.
But look at the shaders and stuff on this guy. Like, our character team is amazing. I think this was like the work of, you know, kind of one person does something, somebody else polishes it. It goes to like, we have a tech artist now that works on shaders. And so this time around, you know, all the characters have like nice, juicy, realistic feel to them. And it really makes the story land because it feels so real.
So cool.
There's so many
he was
details.
the early one. Yeah, that one, you know, I'm like an obsessive perfectionist. And so this was one of the concepts I did. And so it took me a little bit, but it turned out so cool. And, you know, it's an obvious nod to Mondo Gecko from Ninja Turtles. When I'm thinking of like the art or the design of something, I'm always just like kind of turning around and looking at the toys I have and thinking, you know, which one would be cool. And in the first game, all of the designs for the bounties are straight out of like the first gen of the He-Man toys. So if you kind of compare them side by side, you can see elements of each one. And that was such a good starting point for me because, you know, we're in the sort of parody space, you know, where we're kind of making fun of stuff and making little nods to stuff. So I always love to get some connection for all the people my age, at least, you know, some of the older people that grew up with Ninja Turtles and other stuff like that.
I want to shout out John Milstein here in the live action.
I was literally about to ask
tutorial.
who filmed this.
And he's the dad of the little kid, right?
No, it's actually there's a whole family of Milsteins that are.
Oh wow! Okay.
He's the uncle of
the uncle. Okay.
Wow.
John
nepotism.
I know, right? John's a very funny comedian who is also a skateboarder. So I was like, yeah, you know what? He'd be a good fit for this. Let's try this out. And he also does these really funny videos where he pretends to be like a Home Depot representative walking around in the store and doing this very like Gen Z corporate speak. And we decided, you know what? Let's film a skateboard tutorial as if he's the owner of a skateboard company. And we literally wrote this the night before. I texted him the whole script, and we went to a parking lot by the LA Zoo. We filmed it, just me and him with our phone and a skateboard and this alien costume.
Really?
And then at the end of the day, I sent it over to our designers, and they put it in the game by like nightfall. So it happened really fast, and it's one of my favorite parts of the game.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I especially love when he's talking about his dad, Barney Sizzler.
He's so sick. I won the.
And that's our writer, Julian, by the way.
Really?
Barney Sizzler. Yeah.
Yeah, I went home and edited this video, and I needed something for Barney Sizzler, but we were putting it in so fast I didn't have any art team to like make something for me on like an hour's notice. So Julian used to text me these like oldified pictures of himself. So I just put those in without asking him to make him laugh, and everyone was like, "Okay, that's really funny."
That's
You know what I just
so
realized?
sick.
Barney Sizzler's his dad and isn't an alien.
No, I know. We talked about that a while ago. You're just realizing it now, but we were like, all right, whoops. His dad's an old human.
Well, maybe he's got a little face that's part human, so we don't know who his mom is, you know?
Exactly.
Could be
It's
weird.
fine.
Space
It's
grasshopper.
rule of funny. It's funny enough that it doesn't break lore.
I love it. I love it.
No, that's perfect. It's so good. Are there other instances?
Sometimes-
I mean, it feels like there's going to be. You guys must have like a kind of little story like that about so many parts of the game. Are there any that stands out to you as well as the Barney Sizzler moment?
Oh man, there's so many. It's hard to even like
That's right. I'm
pick one. Yeah.
Maybe as we go along, we'll
there's
jog your
one that
memory.
I don't want to spoil, but there's another
sure.
live action bit near the end of the game that I was also very excited about, and I'm so happy we got it in. And it required a lot of like dialogue timing with an in-engine, some in-engine conversations that we had to like time out with a live action video. I don't know. You'll play it. You'll love it. It's really sick.
Yeah.
I love mixed mediums in games, to be fair, like live action as well as
Yeah, I really want to get
does it a lot
more
with Control,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I loved Control. I'm stoked for the new one.
Same.
Oh yeah, so good.
But yeah, we do have like the most random just stuff in here. Like we're so used to it that it's hard to even call out because that's just how we
That's
work.
just life for you guys. Oh.
Yeah, like
The dream
as
planet.
if I was a fan of the game, I feel like I could just be poking around the game forever, finding little things. I mean, like we have secrets that we put in for people who do like no clip style gameplay where they'll put a mod on and clip through geometry. There's stuff hidden like that the player could never see unless they did that, so we've got jokes everywhere
for it. Yeah, like I saw people sharing on TikTok and Instagram, but like we try to catch any speedrunning moments. Like if we can detect if you are at a place like 2 hours early, so if we catch you doing that, we have recorded dialogue where my character Pseudo will call you out for cheating or speedrunning or something. So there's very insane things that we put in the game that players are getting called out for that you don't expect.
Yeah, one of our designers, Andy, is like obsessed with the whole speedrunning concept, and so she just wherever she can find a way to go really fast, or someone calls out like, "Hey, look at this fast thing I did," Andy and Alec will add a line there to catch players.
There's
really
even stuff like
interesting.
even if we're not sure it's going to happen and we kind of hope it doesn't, like you get launched into the sky.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
We don't have anything in the game that I think would trigger it right now. I hope, but if it does happen, there is a line of dialogue apologizing for it.
Yeah. You might be able to get on top of one of those little pop-up hologram things at the right time, and I think you can pop up a little bit into the air, but not like we had at the end of the first game. We were trying to track down this bug where the frame rate was just horrible in this one level, and it turned out that one of the enemies, when it spawned, like a little piece of them was stuck in the ground, and it got rocketed off before you could even get into the level, and it was just like flying and doing physics everywhere it touched, and we calculated it was going like the speed of light in the game, and for some reason that was like the funniest thing to me, because we were all real punchy trying to finish the game, and then finding out like we finally got like a very blurry shot of a guy flying through the air, and we're like, what the hell is that? And then that's what got it.
That's crazy.
It was really funny.
Yeah, bugs can be so funny.
Yeah, I mean, we purposefully leave some in that are funny, like, like no, don't change that. It's great. That's actually better than the joke we were planning.
Yeah, you can get some real good slapstick from the accidental physics.
Amen. These sweet angels.
Oh, I got a little. I don't know if it's a secret, but maybe not a lot of people know. So Gus is voiced by JB Smoove.
Yeah.
And we're actually working on a High on Life show with JB.
Yeah.
And his writing partner. So now that the game is done, we're gonna start getting more serious about it and get things going. But JB's awesome, and he's so. I mean, his idea was for, like, the show was his idea, his thing that he brought to us, and we were like, absolutely, like, yes, let's do this. This is great.
That's so sick. So he obviously was brought in for the first game, and then just, I guess, really clicked with you guys and really enjoyed the project, that he was like, let's make this into something else. That's so cool.
Yeah,
He's
and
so
Betsy
sweet.
Stodaro and Dave Herman, I feel they're like the rocks of this. They're our standbys. They're like the best voice talent we could ask for, and they've been with us since the beginning.
Who is your Mount Rushmore of voice acting, do you think?
I mean, as far as people, for people we've worked with, like, I love all of our guns. I'll think about like who I really want to work with, but like Ken Marino is one of the funniest people in the world to me. He was a huge like dream of mine to get, and having him be Travis in the game is like, I could say this about all the guns, but I was just so thrilled.
Yeah.
And Tim Robinson, also with us since the first game, like, he plays Creature. He is the funniest to write for and the funniest to direct. He is just like he'll make anything perfect. If we kind of like gave him a half-baked line on the page, he's gonna save it. And I try to give him the best material, but that's just 14 hours of game to fill sometimes.
Yeah.
That was my dream get. I mean, Tim, in my opinion, is the funniest human being that's ever lived. Like, I just worship him like a god, and I never thought it was possible. But Alec, like we were saying before, with Little Network, Alec did some writing for I Think You Should Leave, which is his show on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. And so we had that connection, and Alec just reached out directly, and surprisingly he liked Alec enough that he was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. And Tim obviously is a crazy busy guy, and that's our challenge.
I did the egg game for I Think You Should Leave.
That's right. Yes.
Familiar, so there's a whole like fake video game in season 3.
Yeah.
I'm smiling politely because I'm inside. I'm seething with jealousy. Tim Robinson, obviously, I couldn't agree more. Is one of the funniest people either. Oh, sorry, Suto's here.
And that's part of the fun too. Is like you're talking about like a Mount Rushmore. Like I'm trying to fill the game with as many different styles of comedy as we can, so that if there's a little bit of something for everybody. Like JB hits the Curb Your Enthusiasm crowd. Tim hits the I Think You Should Leave crowd, the alt comedy crowd, and Gabourey. She's like, if you like Prank Panel and like other stuff she's been in, she's just such a funny, like, big personality. We kind of have a different type of comedy for everybody. And if you want to pick the gun you like best to hear, that's how it works.
Yep. I was really shocked. There was a show called Brad Neely's Sclopio Pipio.
Yeah.
Crazy show.
Hard
Nolan. That's right. I forgot Hard Nolan, of course. But yeah, check that one out too if you haven't seen it. But I'd say, get a little relaxed first, It's really crazy. But I heard Gabby's voice in there, and I was like, why is she doing this? Like, what is this? And it was so funny.
We should get Brad Neely. He's
so good. Yeah, I think I like his shows. He's really funny, and also weird as hell, just like us. So
his Baby Cakes voice is great.
Yeah, I'd be down. Yeah, hopefully we'll continue to make games. We'll see.
Heck yeah. I for one want even more, because it does feel like, I mean, it's easy to say because you guys are speaking about having these collaborations and being inspired by that sort of humor or shows and things like that, but it does just feel completely true to life if you made I Think You Should Leave video game, or if High on Life was a TV show, then I can feel like those kind of gags in that. It's almost like in universe or in canon, it feels like. For High on Life, it's sick.
Yeah, we purposefully made the universe broad, and like you said, like mixed media, like you can, anything works, any time period, any style. It was something we really wanted to do early on, so that we always do have a weird idea, and so we have that framework where, like, it's only a challenge for 5 minutes to figure out how does this thing fit into the world. Like, there are levels later on that are a completely different style than the rest of the game that require just a whole new way of making things and thinking about it. We've got the full UI battle all in gameplay, and so we try to make things open enough that, like, we could throw claymation in if we want, and we do have some claymation on the TVs and stuff.
Yeah, and that approach is sort of one of the solutions we have for filling a game's length of comedy. Like, this is a 15-hour story at least, so
that's true.
We don't want it to be the same type of comedy the entire way through, and that way we can do some dick jokes, we can do some social satire, we can do some stoner comedy, we can do some cerebral shit, we could do some high concept alt comedy. Like, there's a little bit of everything, and we try to pepper variety and change the pacing up every 20 minutes or so. Well,
I'm not trying to stroke your egos too much, but that's a fair point, filling 15 hours of comedy versus what regular comedians who need to fill like 15 minutes.
Oh my god! I mean, when I'm writing
a
linear script, if I'm writing like a pilot or something now, or a sketch, it's like training with the weights off. It's like the hyperbolic chamber in Dragon Ball Z when I come out.
That's literally what I was thinking. Yeah.
It is so easy because for this we're writing. I mean, like I've shared this before, but you know, for each time a gun is talking, you have up to 6 or 7 guns in your arsenal. For every line we write, if you have one of the other guns equipped, we have to have written 6 other lines, and you're only ever going to hear one. So each line of dialogue, the further you get in the game, has 6 variants or more, and you know, that's just a lot of different ways to write the same thing over and over again and make them feel unique and funny and have their own personality. And like, I think for this game, I don't have the exact number, but the number I've been saying is 10,000 pages of dialogue.
Whoa.
And I know like Baldur's Gate or something has a million more than that, but for
I don't know.
single player
quite close.
campaign shooter,
yeah, it's crazy. And those are the ones that are written too, right? So you know, from that we often will have each one of those lines is going to get alts, and we might have ad libs that happen, and like you just never know how much extra stuff you're going to get. So we have all the written stuff, which is already an insane feat, and then in doing all of that writing, Alec is also getting in the booth, recording, picking selects, like making sure everything's going in the right place in the game. And when you look at a game like ours, I mean, I think you can get through the campaign. Some people said 15-ish hours. That would be pretty brisk.
I don't know the number.
Brisk pace. I've definitely heard people say that though, for sure. So I think most people are going to be closer to 20, 25 hours. Maybe, you know, there's enough content in there to get you 40 hours, 50 hours if you poke around enough. And so you think about like a movie, right? Like any movie you see, that's even the best comedies, you know, maybe 1 or 2 jokes are going to fall flat throughout the whole movie. Now, if you map that out to, you know, 50 hours with all of the alt lines and stuff, and like,
especially if you do all the side content.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's like we try to, and Alex created a comedy in different types of humor too. Like I consider myself someone surprisingly who doesn't like potty humor or dick jokes. It's like a weird thing that people don't expect, but it's true. But every time Alec gets one in, it's the one I laugh the most at. And I find that people who say they don't like potty humor, they're the ones that are trying to hold back a laugh when a gun farts or something. And you're like, you know what? I knew.
It's so funny when people are like, I hate puns, and I'll be like, just watch. I'll make you laugh at a pun. I love that challenge.
Yeah,
that's
enjoy that's me. I hate puns, and Alec gets me with them, so it's really funny.
I love spoonerisms. They're my favorite word things.
Wait, what is it? Spoonerism?
Spoonerism, when it's like just it's like the first letter of the words are reversed, so it'd be like why can I not think of any?
I know, I'm trying to think of an example of one.
This has gotten more confusing.
Like, you know, it's really funny when you're trying to explain why something's really funny as well. Life, it would be lie on hive.
Oh, okay, I see. So it's like a pun for dyslexic people or something.
It's kind of like dyslexic wordplay. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, if you see it in the game, call it out, because I've never heard anything like that, and I'm sure I have, but in my head I'm just like, I don't know what that is. But yeah, if you hear
I want to shout out this guy, Griffin P. Spencer.
Yeah, can we let's take a minute to talk about Griffin.
Yeah.
Who is Griffin?
This is a character. So he's played by Corey Lukasik, who is part of the Dress Up Gang, a really funny sketch group and TV show on TBS that I worked on. He has this very specific style of like chill, relaxed, you know, one with everything, California stoner guy.
Yeah.
And we wanted this human in the human zoo who is like a guy who is okay with being in captivity. And I just had a vision of, it's got to be Corey. It's got to be Corey. I could see it all. We wrote it. We recorded it. It is wholesale what was in my head. And I wish we had put him in the game more, because he was immediately a hit with our team. You see him a little more at the end of the game, not to spoil, but like, I love his performance here. And you can pet him. And how much you pet him affect the end of the game.
Does it actually? Okay, good, because
I want to call out
I pet him a
something
lot.
about him, but I want to make sure I'm thinking of the right thing. Okay, no, I'm not gonna, but it is funny. I'm not gonna call it out, but yeah, check him out. He's great.
Keep the secrets. You're right. He does give off that energy of the best of human nature. This guy.
Yeah.
what we have
there's
to
a
offer,
line
let's put
from-
them in there.
I guess so. But
There's a thing they all say in the dress up gang all the time. One love.
One love,
I
yeah.
love that phrase. We kind of borrowed it for his character and for Frankie's later.
Yeah, they were both on Dress Up Gang, and Alec, you wrote on Dress Up Gang too, right?
No, I was just in production on it,
Just-
but
okay.
yeah, but it was a really fun show to work on.
That's
I love
such
those
like
guys.
a
Yeah.
little unknown gem. If you like that awkward, like I think you should leave comedy. It's sort of like a low key version of that. There's so many funny bits in there.
I'll definitely check it out.
nice.
But yeah, the one love thing cracks me up every single time. I actually didn't even make the Dress Up Gang connection until you just said it.
Oh yeah, no, that's us kind of.
That's so funny.
When we work with, like I said, when we work with an actor, I try to write to them, and sometimes that means, little nods to the stuff they've been in.
For sure, yeah. I like chill, earnest people are like the funniest thing to me because I'm so anxious and not chill all the time.
Yeah, no, they're like aliens to me. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
get it.
insane. Yeah, how can you be happy? What the fuck is
Yeah.
that? Or what the heck is that? My bad.
Yeah, makes me wonder what you got going on. in
He's
your
so
life.
good.
We could say hell, right? We can.
We're allowed to say hell. I mean, we're all gonna be there together anyway, so might as well get used to it.
I'm gonna say hell. You can't stop me.
Can't stop me. The so one interesting thing about Griffin, we wanted to get all this signage up, like advertising
Yeah.
the human exhibit at the zoo, and so we thought it would be funny if it was a real person, like a real
Yeah.
photo, and then we try to match the NPC to the person. So
That's so good.
we just went on like stock photos and found a random person that felt like Griffin, and this person has no idea they're in the game. So if anybody knows that person, please point them to us because I want to know how they feel about seeing themselves
They
in a
must know
game
by
that
now.
lots of people are playing, like hopefully millions eventually, So
Have you seen this man?
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
are
Yeah,
the
take a
real
look at
Griffin
him.
T. Spencer, reach out
He-
to us.
He nailed the vibe of what was in our head, right? So, I think I picked like maybe 3 different models and sent them to Eric and Alec, and we looked and we were like, we all like unanimously liked this one. The fact that he had the little guitar too was just
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really what clinched it.
icing on the cake.
This guy has a guitar.
Walk away.
Yeah,
Goodbye, Griffin.
it's so funny.
I think I exhausted his petting.
Yeah, I think you
That's
probably maxed it
a
out.
new
Thank you
sentence.
for
Good,
doing
yeah.
that.
You'll have something interesting at the end of the game for that.
Oh, very curious. I can't wait. I can't wait to discover. Is there specific secrets or maybe Easter eggs that you guys think most players might miss as well if they're
There are some crazy secrets. I mean, one of our designers, Andy V, put one of the biggest secrets I could think of in the game where I actually don't remember how to get to it without looking up in the
Someone
Slack.
found it. Someone found
Okay,
it.
that's
Yeah,
great.
I saw a
Sick.
comment on it. I was like, people are crazy. Like, did Andy tip them off or something? But yeah,
Fantastic.
there are probably, I can think of 3 or 4 that Andy put in that are pretty nuts. Andy stuff is the stuff where I'll always like find it because we trust Andy implicitly to do stuff. So if she has an idea and she gets it in, she likes to surprise people. And so sometimes we'll know about it. Sometimes we'll see it on a stream, but we just trust her to do it. So
that's so sick.
there's a lot of secrets.
She worked on a secret project for like the better part of an entire year without
Yeah.
telling any of us.
Yeah.
I won't spoil exactly what it is, but
Okay.
it has to do with ROM hacking old video games.
Yeah, and it's mind blowing. And
Crazy.
she
She dropped it on us on a show and tell one day. She's like,
Yeah.
this fully completed new feature for our game without ever checking with anyone.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it literally changed like some design of the game when we saw it. We're like, okay, we have to use this,
Yep.
period. Right. And so we kind of reworked some stuff to make it work. And it's what about the Twilly stuff too, Alec? I don't want to spoil that.
Oh
but
yeah, I
that's
mean,
a huge one.
I'll hint at it. Yeah, there's a really fun thing where you can find an escape room in the city hub, and I love it. So this I love escape rooms too.
Yeah.
They're like,
Me
I know
too.
they're kind of corny, but I
No,
kinda,
dude, I love
I'm
them.
kind of into it.
Yeah.
But no, some of our team we have some game jams every once in a while where generally we do them with the goal of implementing these things into the game. So like the fishing minigame came from that, and so did this escape room. And it kind of ballooned out of control where like it becomes this metaphysical, almost parody of Q from Star Trek.
Yeah.
And there is a secret ending that you could achieve with that ties to the murder or that ties to the escape room if you do everything exactly.
Yeah, I would say if you're interested in secrets, check out the escape room for sure and see it through because it's awesome.
And the advice I'll give to find the secret ending is to opt into everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Play along.
Just say yes.
Just say yes.
Sign the right paperwork. So to speak.
Oh well, actually, that's another fun secret paperwork.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, you want
That's
to cover
one-
that one?
Sure.
You
This
guys
is
had
one
some
that
paperwork in the first game as well.
Oh yeah, we
trying
got
to-
way more in this one
We
technically.
used
Ooh.
that base as an optional mini game. I say mini game. This is not a fun part of the game
It
at all.
is
This is designed to be as boring as
Horrible,
possible.
shitty part of the game that I love.
I'll kind of spoil it, but it's like we talked about. Wouldn't it be funny if you're technically a criminal and you're trying to fight the good guys in quotes who are doing everything by the books? What if you just went and did things the right way? You filed a complaint with the drug bureau and you did all the paperwork. And I was pitching it as you do 12 hours of actual paperwork in game.
Yeah.
And QA came back to me like, please do not make us test a 12-hour option thing. So it's not quite that intense, but you can do it, and there is a really mean ending. I don't actually recommend doing it, so don't do it.
Yeah,
But
please don't do it. Please, the joke is please don't do it. That's
Yeah.
what's so funny about it.
it's
But
just
that was
funny that we put it in.
something we pitched early. Was like, what if you can just file paperwork and beat the game? Like you just go all around everything basically. And of course, we're always like, God, that's so dumb. Let's do it. And then we did
Yeah.
it.
So
And
good.
it's
It's
such
not-
a waste of time, and I love it.
I mean, I'm very inspired by, like Hideo Kojima, stuff like that, where
Mhm.
there's kind of this philosophy of you can do what? You can let the end die of old age if you just don't play for a week when you're at that boss battle. Like, stuff like that, which it's almost as much fun to hear about it as it is to actually do it. Just like the fact that they actually went for it. That's the sort of stuff that I want people to be saying about our game.
Mhm.
That's sick.
You recognize that design?
Is it Jurassic Park?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just watched the new one the other night.
Oh man, it's not a great movie, but it has
is-
cool moments.
I would say it's the best of the new ones.
Oh, by far. Yeah, by far it's the best of the new
But
ones. And
yeah.
I thought like the sci-fi angle was gonna bump, but it was cool. It was
I kind of liked the D-Rex or whatever.
Yeah, oh, I loved that design so
that was pretty
much.
cool.
And their lab, when I went to see it, I was like, oh my god, like we must have touched on something because all the colors and the shapes in their lab like hit just like the one in our game.
Mhm.
Stop right there.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
This is the security guard. Let's see. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. You just do whatever your heart tells you.
After 60 years, what do you
That's a lot of pressure.
Don't kill me.
Yeah, do the best option, no pressure.
We really wanted to make him look as old as possible.
I
and
know.
sound
Yeah.
as helpless.
Yeah, we added that little mustache and that helped a lot. We had talked about like putting him on a walker or a wheelchair or all these other things, but in terms of scope, it's like we try to pick and choose where we spend that budget, and as much as we love this guy, we just couldn't justify it.
I have to do this.
We
I
put
always
all
tell
the
this
effort into
story,
the
yeah.
design stuff.
Go home.
Yeah, there's so many times where I'll pitch a joke where like a character needs to be sitting or something, and the art team's like, actually, that character cannot sit. It doesn't work that way. I'll be like, okay, never mind.
Come on, we're all friends here. Just let us through. This doesn't have to be difficult.
But
I tend to find myself going with Gus more often for dialogue at the moment.
I get that. I think Gus he's a personable, friendly guy.
Yeah, I think Gus is my favorite gun to use too. Yeah, Sweezy, it's sort of like we were talking about with Baldur's Gate. You kind of have the archetypes of like, I'm going to play mean. If you want to play mean, you play as Sweezy.
Yeah,
those are her answers.
That dictates a lot of the gun writing as well.
Mhm.
Like I'd like each one to be a fun, different option. During a dialogue choice, I want you to understand each gun's personality well enough to sort of have an understanding of what they're going to say if you click them, without spoiling it. But
Yeah.
I want to go with this personality type.
Yeah, and for us, I always think it's cool for players to discover what the personality is. So we don't try to give away like this is the nice option, this is the mean option. Like we kind of want players to just figure it out. It's like a lot of the choices in the game. We don't want people to realize the choices they're making, because
Which is kind of bad for us because you're not as impressed when you're playing. You don't realize how big some of these things are.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite thing about making this series is hearing other people talk to each other, like, oh, did you do this? And they have a totally different experience. Like to me, that is the metric of success for this game, is if people can talk about it and like know that there's so much more in there than what they saw, and maybe they come back, or maybe they at least just are having fun with their friends, sharing different stories that they saw.
We've been doing that a lot in the office this week as well.
Oh, awesome.
That's so good to hear.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, for example, right here, you just did the non-violent option where you sweet talked to this guy and got his key card.
I'm a smooth talker.
I've seen players just walk up and shoot him. I've seen players call his boss and get him fired.
Yeah, and not just like kind of literally fired, because a little drone comes down and blasts him with a laser. Yeah. And then like
him. Yeah, you can also call the boss and say that he's doing a great job, and then you kind of can't get through easily, but at least you did a nice thing.
There's a way to get there, yeah. And then if you do shoot him, there's still options, right? Like
he doesn't die right away. You can like this is one of the funniest things is like you can bring him a first aid kit while he's dying, but then you set it down in front of him because you don't know how to administer first aid. So, all right, well here you go.
Where is the first aid kit?
if you go through the door,
and
then look to your right on the crate behind you.
This one here?
No, it's behind you, like on the back of the gate. If you go back to right there, that white crate on top of that's where the first aid kit is. Yeah. So
I've never seen anyone do it.
I've never seen anyone do it either, but now the secret's out.
Well, no, that one I've seen, but I haven't seen anyone. You can leave and come back like 12 times, and he gets frustrated. He's like, "Stop messing with me! I keep thinking you're leaving. I think you're done."
Oh yeah, no, I've never seen that one.
Yeah, if you keep coming back, he'll kind of break mentally.
Yeah, I've never gotten the one where I got to use the first aid kit, at least in this version of it, like the final version of it. I remember one of the older versions, it was a lot more obvious. And I think it's way funnier that it's not obvious at all.
Oh, yeah. No, I've seen someone do the first aid. Yeah, see, you can still, even after you've gotten in, you can still hurt them.
Yeah.
I feel
Look
bad.
at that arm. The little Family Guy broken arm.
I did it for science. Let's go.
Yeah, we made you do it. It's okay.
Thank you.
You were just following orders.
Oh, no. I don't think that holds up anymore.
Now you can bring the first aid kit to him if you want. Or you can put him out of his misery.
So even after you've gotten through, you can still do that?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I've played this game hundreds of hours and didn't realize that. Maybe even thousands of hours.
Yeah, I know. I was checking my Steam count.
It's wild.
It's not perfectly valid because I've left the game on for hours during meetings sometimes, but still, yeah.
I think about all the console playing I've done too, and it's just like, it's gotta be insane.
We'll take the L on this one.
We'll take the L on this
So
one.
Yeah, there you go. And you can still kill him now if you'd like, but you do.
What's this actor's name again, by the way?
Oh, let me look it up. I can't remember.
He's like,
he was so
I remember
good.
being really excited, but I just can't remember the name off the top of my head. There's so many actors. Was he the grandpa from Rugrats? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah, that's who he played. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's so cool.
So yeah, if you grew up with Rugrats, that's him, and he nails it.
He is. I want
And
to double
there's a
down.
cool
I would
secret.
never
The
do
crate
this.
is floating. So here's a cool secret players might notice. If you look at the bottom of the crate there.
Oh, this one here.
It's it's actually not touching the ground. Isn't that cool?
What's a secret?
Magic.
It's an anti-gravity crate.
They have those in space, obviously.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
But little things like that, I always
We
think
can
are funny.
explain any glitch as a sci-fi.
Yeah. We had a little disclaimer on the last game that was like, any bugs are intentional parodies of other games.
Oh, I forgot we did that.
Yeah,
That's gorgeous.
I always love that, but this time around we opted to just cold open right into the game.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so this part, that's like the normal floor people would go to, and if you look to the right on the button, you can see that there was a device like installed on the side. So you're following your sister Lizzie down here, and so her and her team put this device on that unlocked this sort of secret layer of the zoo.
Got you.
And so down here is where they're doing some bad experimentation.
Naughty.
Mm-hmm.
Naughty. Pretty flowers though. They're gorgeous.
Oh yeah. Don't look too close at those.
I mean, that's
Okay.
part of the fun, though, is that they're very on the outside. They look like they're doing everything squeaky
Yeah.
clean. And
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
great branding, you know.
Great,
And the
great
destruction you're
PR.
seeing is Lizzie having gone through here already with her team. So you're kind of coming in at a weird time. You're like, your sister's in danger. You see all this destruction. You're hoping she's okay, but she's a badass. She's
She can
really
handle
awesome this
herself.
time around.
I love this pill.
Oh yeah. For any
Another
Ratchet
Jurassic
and,
Park riff, yeah.
yes. For any Ratchet and Clank fans out there, the artist that did Pilton here, he's one half of the very amazing and famous concept art team called Creature Box. And I randomly met him at like a live drawing class, and I was like, you should do something for the game. And so
That's sick.
he did a bunch of graffiti in the game. He did Pilton for us, and I'm gonna try to get him in some aspect for every time we're making a game. But he's like one of my heroes from my most of my career. Just always like, God, those guys are so good, and he's incredible. Super cool guy.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Pilton is such a good design.
Yeah.
Kind of wish we used him more in the game for other
Yeah. I think we should make a physical Pilton for the next game. Like nobody knows he's actually a real. Like you think he's a cartoon, it's actually
guy,
a real
yeah.
thing. Yeah, and he's just
World, yeah.
cell shaded for no reason.
It's fine. But humanity isn't. Take a look for yourself.
I love what we did with Lizzie in this game. Very,
Dude,
I
she's
know.
Yeah,
so ridiculous.
we moved that character in the right direction.
Yeah, we
she's
were
sick.
early on calling her Space Pirate Lizzie.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
yeah,
and-
Harlock in there. Yeah.
I was literally watching Harlock when I was drawing her. That CG one, like that came out.
Oh my
like,
god, I've
yeah.
never seen that one.
You know what? It's worth watching. I'll say it's worth watching. Yeah. But yeah, so I was picturing this very jaded version of Lizzie. We tried to keep little touch points, like her pink
Yeah, the hoodie
sweatshirt
pink
is
there
still
is
there.
so good.
Yeah. It's just been kind of brutalized. But in the intro, you'll see she starts with the pink sweatshirt, and
Yeah.
as it's going through, she's getting like more parts of who she becomes, and she has both of her eyes in the intro, and then by the time you see her again for the first time, like now, you're seeing she lost one of her eyes at some point.
We'll fill that in with another comic or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe it's under there, and she just has like
Yeah, she
like
just
some
looks
people
cool.
have like eyes that are, I don't know if it's the right term, like cross-eyed is what we used to call it. I don't know if that's the correct term, but and then people
Wall-eyed,
wear a patch to kind of adjust the muscles. So that's the backstory. She's perfectly fine.
Yeah, she
She's-
just had her eyes dilated. She's just
she just got out of the optometrist.
It's actually
But
just
yeah.
for style. That's cool.
And actually, speaking of casting, those two, Harper and Lizzie, there are, I think, probably the only ones we recast. Sarah Sherman did the voice of Harper originally,
Yeah.
but she was busy with SNL and some other stuff, so we couldn't get her in. And we were kind of panicking, like, how do we recast one of our favorite guns? And we luckily found someone that did a great job. And then with Lizzie, we knew we were going to recast because on the first game she was playing, more of like a bratty teen, which was great for that game, but we wanted her to really carry this game, and we picked someone we've never worked with before, and she like carries the game. It's crazy, she really keeps it
Shelby
grounded.
Young played Lizzie. Amita
Yeah.
Rao played Harper this time around.
Yeah.
And yeah, couldn't imagine there were some like heavy rocks in the casting. They really grounded everything.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I barely got into any of the records on this one because I was so busy this time, and so I didn't know how Lizzie was going to end up sounding. And so I heard the recordings in the game for the first time, and literally I was like, "Oh my god, this changes everything!
This
like
is
this
sick.
really grounds it." She's so natural,
Yeah, I love our voice casts.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, record season for this game was insane. It was like I think it was 4 or 5 months, and
Wild.
it was often 2 4-hour sessions a day that I was directing and going into the studio at Bright Skull for. A lot of work. I was not able to look at the game for most of that time because I was just in booth talking with actors, getting the performances we need. But we
Yeah.
had, Julian Shine, one of our writers, took over for a lot of records when we needed. Yeah, crazy times.
How-
Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's
how-
so much dialogue in this game.
How do like studio sessions kind of go? Do you have like some of the characters like I guess maybe some of the more featured ones like the Gatlians and stuff you already have an idea of, or Mikey, you've already designed them so you can provide that to the actors and cast? Or like, are there usually visuals first and then the voices, or does it kind of mix and match? What's kind of the run of show there?
We like a natural performance for most characters. If we're casting you, we usually want something close to your natural voice. But then there are bigger characters who we need like some stock. Like, I don't know, we have some silly guys that are supposed to be over the top. And usually we bring in some pinch hitter, like really funny comedians or voice actors who've been in the business for a long time who have a huge range. But yeah, I mean, generally we show them art of the characters if we have it ready at the time. Sometimes we don't. And we often like to get them to play it if we're able to. And it really depends on the role. Some characters, like the Gatlians, those are going to be like 7 or 8 4-hour sessions or more. And sometimes they're marathons. Sometimes we're just like trying to squeeze everything in before the end of these sessions, just because the guns have so much dialogue. Like poor Ken Marino has the most dialogue in the game because he's also he's part of like a married couple duo too, but you could also have him by himself for some missions. So he has like double the dialogue in a couple of missions. And so, with stuff like that, I'm really grateful to the actors for, it's a lot of time to be in the booth doing one character, doing lines that can kind of become a little like mind numbing. How many times can I ask Ken Marino to say, watch out, And for some of the comedians, they're more used to doing, animated voiceover where it's for, like a 15-minute episode and maybe they have literally 4 minutes of lines. And their session might take 1 hour max. And for us, some of these guys sign on and they don't realize they're going to be here for 5 4-hour sessions. But then there are other actors who we only have in like one scene of the game and they get in and out pretty quick, and they're a little luckier in that regard. But
yeah, it's kind of sad because we get these great people in the booth, but there's so much to get through that you don't get a lot of time to like shoot the shit or just have little conversations. So it's like you got to be like, Alec is really good at just keeping them on. Like, okay, here we go. We got to get through 1 billion lines in 3-4 hours, and we've had really patient and excited actors that are willing to do it, and they just. The amount of lines they're running through is insane, and to keep it up that whole time is really wild.
It's crazy. I mean, and not only that, but a lot of them are also very busy. There's like they have a lot of projects going on. Like I know Tim Robinson was a real saint for us, in my opinion, for squeezing this game into his schedule while he was in the middle of making The Chair Company for HBO, which turned out to be an amazing show.
It's so good.
But I know how hard it was to we had to work around his schedule, and I really appreciate him doing that.
I honestly am always surprised that people are committed despite these crazy schedules. It's interesting too, because like people don't really think about it, but for the first game we had 20 million players, I think. So in terms of how many eyes are on you as an actor, it's you're a voice actor, so really it's ears, but you get a lot of exposure, and I think people who aren't in the game space don't recognize like how much exposure they're going to get by being in a game like this. And not that Tim needs exposure, but he's probably
we're going to introduce the world to Tim.
Like a lot of people are seeing this and a lot more than he probably thinks.
It's definitely a different audience too. Like I think for Betsy Sodaro, that's one, she had never been in a game before, and she really loves being in our game, and I think we put a lot of eyes on her that she might not have gotten because she's in like the alt comedy world,
And definitely it'll be big for some of the other alt comics like Frankie. I think this will probably be the most people are seeing.
Frankie is like, to me, he's right on the cusp of like breaking it so big.
Oh, he's about to blow up hardcore.
He did such a good job.
We're really good accidentally at like picking people right before they blow up. We had it on the first game we have at this time. Like when we picked Ralph, it was not like he wasn't in a bunch of stuff at the time, and shortly after we made that pick, we found out he got picked to be Galactus in the Marvel movies, and we were like, oh my god, that's huge. And then we just started seeing him in everything. We never would have got him if we had been a little bit late. We've seen a lot of the people in the game, the little comedy world that they're in is just exploded. Comedy is really popular in the past 5 5-10 years, a lot more so than it used to be.
Yeah.
There was a lull since the 90s, and then I think it's been back in a pretty good way.
Especially in film, studio comedies were dead for like 10 years of film.
Yeah. And the Naked Gun movie, if you haven't seen that,
Yeah, that was
Haven't seen the new one yet.
shockingly funny.
Uh-huh.
Shockingly funny.
I've
Yeah.
heard really good things about
The
it.
I haven't
scene
laughed that
is
hard in a
like
long
Kobe.
time. Yeah.
Okay, sick.
And you know, Alec and I are both kind of snobs about comedy. I mean, we like bad shit too, but like
No, but I
I
am a
did not
snob.
think I would like. Did not think I would like Naked Gun. But
Yeah.
man, so good.
A lot of people who worked on that were also working on I Think You Should Leave, so there's a little bit of crossover. Like Akiva Schaffer was also a director on I Think You Should Leave. So I was like, you know what? I bet this is gonna be good.
Yeah, I was hopeful but nervous, and man, I was shocked. So kudos if anybody that worked on that is watching this. You did a great job. Congratulations.
Well done, Liam Neeson.
Great stuff. Yeah,
He's a
I know he's a
regular-
little unknown actor,
Right.
Liam Neeson.
I want to work with Matt Johnson next. Get some
Yes.
the show
Yeah,
representation in here.
I'd love to get Matt to do some writing or something too. Be pretty fun. Yeah. So for people who don't know, Matt Johnson is from a show called Nirvana, the band, the show,
Oh,
and they just
There's
put out a movie.
now, yeah.
And the movie is fantastic. If you haven't
It's
seen
so
it, I just
good.
saw it the other night.
yeah, someone was talking to me about this literally the other day.
You
But
gotta go see it. There's
Okay.
nothing else like it. It's one of those movies you can't really believe that they pulled it off.
I knew it would be funny, but it was genuinely good and hilarious. It was
Sick.
awesome.
It's a genuine feat of indie filmmaking.
I wanted to ask you guys a little bit about British comedy as well, because
Oh yeah,
like
big time.
Ralph Ineson, obviously, we're going to meet her in a second, but Izzy, like
Izzy
Dobby
Suddy.
from,
Yeah, Dobby
Peep
from
Show.
Peep Show.
Yeah, and I'm a little IMDb freak, so I saw Matt King is in additional voices as well.
I was about to say Super Hans from Peep Show is also in here.
Very cool.
God,
He
that's
was
another
the
one, Peep
director
Show.
during the Bounty Juice commercial earlier.
Oh, sick. Okay.
When you were sucking in those cans of Gus. Yeah, we have. I mean, we love British comedy. I mean, one of my other dream roles would be Steve Coogan. I want to work with him.
Yeah.
Steve
I'm an
Coogan.
Alan Partridge fan.
Really?
To
That's
me,
brilliant.
like one of my like big North Stars with comedy writing is Alan Partridge. I think there's really not much funnier than that.
Wow.
Yeah, and also Matt Berry is one we've tried to get a couple times.
Oh my
bet.
That
god,
we kind of
yeah.
bounced off of. I think we've had a couple characters like Toxo from the High on Knife DLC. When I was drawing him, I was thinking Matt Berry.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we got to get Matt Berry.
yeah, luckily we found someone awesome. And Andy always gets upset when I pronounce his last name wrong. Jim Santangeli. Yeah, but he's in this game too. He plays Craig, the boss at the end of the cruise ship.
Oh, yeah.
And he ended up playing Toxo
fantastic.
in the High on Knife game that we did. And
He was
anyone
in Red Dead
who
Redemption too, as well.
Yeah,
He's got
Red
a
Dead.
Really nice gravelly voice.
and he was in a really good episode of Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, where he played a magician.
Swap it.
Yeah. Oh, and so this is cool. So this robot here is named Queso.
Yeah.
And Queso is right here, actually.
Let's hear.
This is Queso
Wow.
right here.
And we had a character named after your other dog.
Yeah,
Toast.
and then the other one is
Yeah.
Toast, and Queso is like
Same.
building Toast down in the basement. When you're done talking to them, you can go see. But this is
Just a character we ended up trimming for
Hello.
this is Toast, and Toast is an old lady. She's 13, so she's a little.
Oh, she's so
But
wise.
she is. These two are just the loves of my life. They're like with me all day. And so yeah, we had Queso and Toast, and even in the first game too. The little secret for you: there's a payphone where you can hear different recordings, and a friend of the studio recorded a song about Queso and Toast in
Oh, yeah.
exchange. Like I did a piece of art for him, and I like to trade, and so his trade was to write a song for me, and so I picked a song about my dogs. And then he let us use it in the game, and so you hear it, and it's like it's literally like a beautiful song that will make you feel emotional. It's so
Oh
funny.
my gosh, I gotta go listen to it after this.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not
so
sure if we
sick.
got it in this game. I'm not sure.
I don't think
I
it's
wanted to, but I don't remember if we did.
Yeah, we should have.
Yeah.
Queso and toast. I'm in a big toast era at the moment. Do you guys sorry, excuse me. I want to ask about culture a little bit. Do you guys have
please.
toasters in America?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay.
I mean, like a
know.
bread toaster, like with the two slots.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we have.
I just toasted this waffle in my toaster.
Okay,
Like,
sick.
do you guys have televisions in America? How far behind are you technologically?
Yeah, breaking ground over here is just this new hip thing called radio. No, toaster. Sorry, that's a stupid thing. I had like half a loaf of toast the other day because toast is one of those things where I kind of forget about it, and then I'll eat a slice of toast and be like, with just butter or like butter and jam, and be like, this
Honestly,
is the best thing
really
I've ever
good.
tasted.
No, toast with jam on it is kind of
It
goes
hits.
off.
Yeah, toast and pizza are like the two things that you can't make bad.
No. Shout out
So-
toast and
It would be
queso.
so funny to fuck up toast. I guess. Oh, sorry for swearing. Whoops.
Don't worry.
But yeah, just burning. it.
I've eaten some black toast
Charring
before,
it,
plenty.
yeah.
Oh, here's another funny little secret. The newscaster there. So for Scope, we try and reuse wherever, and so it was written as an alien because it's not a human doing it.
I'll
and
own this. I'll take the blame for this. But yeah.
it's whatever. It doesn't matter. And so something got lost in translation, and so when the animation team made this, it was a variant of your dad that was still human, and we were like, oh crap, like what can we do?
It doesn't
And
make
so
sense for the newscaster
that's
to be
your
a
dad.
human.
Yeah.
It needs to be an alien.
Yeah, so if you
Heavily
look
modified.
closely, that is dad with his nose removed and a little attachment on his head.
And also an example of stupid humor that I think lands is at the end of this long, very serious broadcast, he announces his name. He says, "I'm Jason Testicles, signing off." And
I love that name.
I mean, that's like that. It just makes me laugh. It's not a highbrow joke at all, but
Yeah.
I don't care. A guy very seriously and with no hint of irony having the dumbest name imaginable is really funny to me.
It's the delivery.
Oh, and so this is a character you'll encounter in the game. He's a famous movie star. He's in a lot of movies.
Oh, heck yeah.
And I believe Weissel animated this one, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
so
so-
one of our writers, Brian Weissel, is also an animator, and he did a good number of animations for the game, and he did all of the animations centered around this character, Bronkin Bucko. So a lot of them are like fake movie trailers or fake scenes from a movie that this character in universe has acted in.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
it's awesome. And if you guys don't know Brian Weissel, you should check out Hot Streets and Royal Crackers, two shows he's done that are incredible.
Well,
Those
That was
trailers
another
are
one that was
funny.
amazing.
Playing a guy who's a car.
Yes. Oh my god.
you're
Oh
lying.
man. Hopefully we'll get the one where he flies the invisible plane. That's like one of my favorites.
I wanted to ask.
This one here is really funny too. As,
Your line is
when we
it?
improvised with Joel
Joel,
Haver,
yeah.
and Trent Karski, and our other writers.
Do you guys have
Julian?
a favorite TV part that you've added in, or maybe one of the movies as well? Because we've got a couple of movies in this in the game too.
Oh my god. We have a lot of new movies. We'll get to those in a second, but there's one sketch we did. Julian Shine, one of the writers, and I did a dueling Rodney Dangerfield impression.
Yeah,
And-
Mikey, we got to see that.
That's
at
right. We
Gamescom.
saw that at
Yeah,
Gamescom. That's right.
Yeah, and Brian animated it, and it's two like kind of janky 3D models of Rodney Dangerfield going back and forth.
Yeah.
We don't do great impressions, but to be honest, they kind of feel good.
That's why it's funny. Yeah. That was one of the first ones we did, and it really like set the tone this time for how the sketches were going to flow. And I'm really into in the first game, they were directed, but it wasn't so tightly directed for comedy. It was more just like we're delivering the lines. It's funny. There's a cool scene, but Brian did a great job of actually like directing these things too, where it'll zoom in and freeze on something just at the right time, or like there's just a little bit of an extra delay that makes the thing funnier, right? It's like these little things, and then when you see it feels like a step up.
It's mostly improvised, all of these. Like we do write some scripts, but we usually go way off book, and a lot of that is made funny in the edit, and Brian gets a lot of credit for that.
For sure, yeah. It's definitely a team effort, but yeah, in the end, I think it feels a lot more elevated from the first game. Even though the first game, the sketches were great. These are just like more fleshed out.
I love this sketch.
So funny.
Someone pitches an entire scene and whose lines is it anyway? You have to remember the scene.
So funny.
One of my favorite ones from the first game was well, we still reference it in Office as well because we made like a Discord sticker out of it of our our lead producer. We put the little alien's head on him. It's the help me.
Oh yeah. I love that. Yes,
he's so good.
I love
that
this one too
sketch.
that Brian did, Mummy Match. This is James Urbaniak voicing this guy who's got like a geographical tongue.
Yes. I love the random geographical tongue shout out. That's great.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a real thing until Brian explained that to me.
Yeah.
Chat mentioned as well the SNL credits.
Oh
yeah, those are so funny.
That was another one we did with Joel.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, there was that music one we did with Joel that I like too, where it's like now that's what I call music, but it's like wolves are peeing and peeing on him in a hole.
That one's so funny.
I can't remember what it's called, but that
it's
one always
guy stuck in a hole and it's just
guy stuck in a hole. Yeah.
Somebody get me out of here. Yeah.
We had there's another funny one. There's a director named Steve Kostansky that did like Psycho Gorman and The Void, and he did Manborg, which we have Manborg in this game. And it's amazing. But he just did one called Deathstalker that, like, if you're into old 90s like Conan kind of thing, it's almost a parody of that, and it's amazing. It's all like practical effects and it's just awesome. But so we had him do a commercial in the game for us, and he did it all with like stop motion, and it's like an ad for a lawyer, and he did the voice himself and everything, and it's so
good.
It's like it's one of those ones where it's like so dumb, and then when he at the end he goes like woo, and it for whatever reason that hits just right, and it's hilarious.
That's so sick. I could sit here and watch TV with
you literally could, and eventually you can get upstairs, and up there we've got like the player is nostalgic for Earth, so there's a shelf with a bunch of VHS tapes and a little TV, and we actually licensed a whole bunch of old commercials, like actual real commercials, and so we were like, this is an opportunity we can't pass up. We can license these, but we didn't really know where to fit them, and so the idea was to make it like this is a little personal nostalgia station where he's getting like old.
Bed, please.
Yeah, the race car
rooted
bed.
Back to your time on Earth.
Yeah, and there's a ton of these insane commercials. Our biz dev director used to work at Limited Run Games, and so he had all these connections to just random things, and I wanted to get playable arcade games. Like we had the TV in the first game, and like the level up for this was getting playable like emulated arcade games in the engine.
Yeah.
And it was perfect because we hired Ben, who was our biz dev guy, to do a bunch of other stuff, and he just happened to know people who could get us the rights to those arcade games. But one of the people also had the rights to all these old commercials and was like, do you guys want these for anything? And we were like, yes, like absolutely.
That's so cool.
Which it was just like trying to figure out where it fit because it's human stuff, and I think where we landed works out.
Very weird having a Glover commercial in here.
I know, it's crazy. There's some real nostalgic commercials in there for people who are like, I guess millennials or millennial adjacent.
Yeah. It's such
probably only a couple people that are playing the game.
Yeah, this game's for Gen Z only.
Yeah.
We'll go explore the base a little more, and then we can head out to Circuit Arcadia.
Cool.
Every little bit here I want to take a second is so sick. The design of it
I
feels...
love quarters.
I made this whole thing personally myself, so this was a passion one. It was an idea we had early on too, and again a pun that I would normally hate, but the pitch was that it's like a head.
We did a pun in the first game too. With
what was the one?
Well, your home base that's a pun. Like,
I guess that's true. Yeah,
your house was your home base. So I mean, that was where I was coming from. Here, I wanted to do another. I wanted to build on that. So this time, it's literally your headquarters is a floating head in space. That's an arcade named Quarters. So it's your headquarters.
Yeah, very dumb, but it's so, to me it's so dumb that it's funny, and like it's hard to tell from the inside. But if you look, you see like
Yeah, it
he's
takes a
got these
second.
kind of big goggle visors. That's the nose right there that leads out to the ship, and then down below is the mouth. And for that, I was trying to go for I don't know if you've ever been to like a kids museum where they have those big like
Yes!
fiberglass kind of
Yep.
sculptures.
Here's how the inside of the body looks.
Yeah, so I was going for that vibe where it's like it would have been a fun arcade at some point with this like weird little bottom part for kids. I don't know if the kids zone sign is still in there.
I think
but
it's still
Yeah.
there.
Okay,
It's
good.
there.
Okay, cool.
so.
Yeah. And so later on in the game, you know, when you get Creature and Dad and Jeppy and stuff, the Creature and Jeppy are the kids, so they're kind of hanging out down here while Dad and Creature are watching.
Oh.
And then this is Toast here. So Queso's building Toast, and throughout the game, if you come down here, you'll see you're adding more and more parts to Toast. And there's nothing you can do with Toast in this game, but we have plans for Toast. Yeah.
Oh,
If you go up
so
one
good, so
floor,
good.
one of my favorite things in the game is, I think it's up one floor. If you look for a crane machine.
Oh my God! Yes.
That's in the arcade. I just discovered the crane machine last night, actually. So
There it
yes.
is. Yeah.
Hi.
The Fraser crane machine.
Yet another stupid pun that works somehow.
This one I'll shout out to our designer Jerry Bellick. This was our baby. I'm gonna take some credit for it. We really wanted this thing in here. This is we always do a little Fraser reference in every game. He's our other lucky charm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I
missed
actually
it in
think the
first
original pun came from Jerry.
Yes,
and I
it did.
remember thinking like, oh my God, but then also like, it's kind of
the perfect pun.
Yeah. And then like the earnest little painting that Dan Levisi did of
it's so good.
Fraser is so funny to me.
He's so cute. He's so
Yeah, in
it's
the
like a
first game-
chippy Fraser.
Yeah.
Hawaii Fraser.
So funny.
In the first game, you can get like some trading cards, and one of them just has Fraser on it as a joke. And then in the second game, in the DLC, High on Knife, you could go to a parody of Cheers called Cheeks, and we actually just had Fraser as a character there.
Yep.
So we're like, we got to do one more. What's the third?
Gonna have Fraser in
Amazing.
everything until he sues us and we have to stop.
No
Exactly.
keys. Oh.
But if you
knifey.
use the grab machine and you win out of there, you get these little Fraser plushies, and they go on your bed upstairs. So throughout the game, you can like keep getting them, and some are rarer than others, and but you can get the whole cast. And when we temped it in, it was just like a photo stuck on a shape, and so it was really funny seeing like on your bed these pillows of these surreal, like it's just a photo of like Frasier or Daphne from the show just sitting on your bed. It was really funny.
I literally
But we
have
would get
one
sued.
of those of my face, like from Firebox. Do you know that website? You can just print.
No,
You can
but I know
print-
the style. Yeah.
you can just do that. I got
That's
the
awesome.
Niles Crane one last night. That was the one I've unlocked in my
Yes,
playthrough.
good. That's the best one.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Niles carried that show. I mean, everybody
know.
was good,
Really
but
did.
Amen.
yeah,
Yeah. What's the rarest one? Do you guys know? What's the least probable?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's all random, but I know after a while, like I know I'm missing one, and it takes forever.
Yeah, I think there are literally like when you get a ball out of there, it does take it out of the pool. Like I think there's
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I
finite
don't.
amounts. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, I could have sworn. You know what? Maybe I
Does
played in
take
a
a while,
version
though.
that wasn't final, and I was getting.
No, you
bug.
can get dupes.
Oh,
No,
okay, okay.
It's still hard to get them all, but I think you eventually will get them all.
Oh yeah, and so here you'll see your bounty poster, your wanted poster is obviously this is what you look like because this is what you tell everybody you look like. So, and that reward number is changing throughout the game and like constantly rising as you do more stuff.
No.
You're out there like we
Naughty.
didn't plan the whole like assassinate pharmaceutical people, but like it was
Yeah,
what
the
we
Luigi
wanted
thing
from
happened
the very
partway through
beginning.
development,
Yeah,
yeah.
and we were like, like, is this going to be bad? But I guess we just kind of touched on a nerve that everybody's feeling, and Luigi did something. I'm not going to say how I feel about
Yeah,
it.
we're not editorializing
But,
here.
you know,
you can play the game, see how we feel.
I think it is a really for a lot of JPS jokes per second, like video game, and such a fun thing to play. There is like some really fun. I mean, it's art,
JPS.
isn't it? It's just the social commentary or whatever. That's art.
That's the thing is, you want a little bit of, you want some actual bite in there. It can't just all be frivolous
Substance, exactly.
one-off jokes. Yeah.
And it can't be too topical too, because we always like our games to have longevity, and so if it's really specific, it's really hard. Like, so you can call back to things that are old. Like, we have a call out to Jeff Dunham, and I think it's one of the funniest little bits in the game.
I love the Jeff Dunham.
But it's like old enough that it's not topical, right? Because it's not what's happening right now, so it's in history. It's just this weird little bubble.
We have some random topical jokes. Like, there is the Epstein joke. There's a couple.
Oh, there is an Epstein joke.
But that's like
think about it. Yeah. That's been a joke for a while.
It should have been old. Yeah, that should have been an old joke.
It's definitely something I've known about for a long time, having gone to so many parties there. Kidding, of course.
The bounty number going up, a very funny inspiration for that was actually the anime One Piece. Because
One Piece really?
I love One Piece, and I love that after every arc you get to see their like bounties go up, and it feels like a big exciting like, oh my god, they're worth that much now. So we did a little bit of that where after each mission your number is going to go up and up.
That's sick. One of our live producers, Steve, is a massive One Piece fan, so he'll be really excited about that.
It's so funny because it's like, well, I always think about it like whenever I meet another One Piece fan, I'm like, whoa, cool, another one. But it's actually like the most popular property in the world. So
when you go to Japan, Alec, you'll see One Piece is everywhere. It's insane.
It's one of those
that
things.
And Battle Cats.
You touched on it like when you were speaking about comedy and like our video games about like how much of a new audience like these already huge established comedians will get as well. But it's crazy, like people just out there doing stuff and being interested in a whole bunch of stuff that I have no clue even exists. It's cool.
Yeah,
Video
I mean, it's a big
games
part
and
of like the writing process. We want to draw from as many different wells as we can. I mean, our writing team, we have slightly different comedy taste among us, but I think that diversity is what really brings the variety to our game.
Yeah, that's the other sort of magic thing about the game is even the writing style considers that all writing styles work, right? So while the visuals also do it, the actual writing itself can be serious, it can be funny, it can be corny, it can be a dick joke, it can be like a poop joke, and it all just like fits, and I think some people will focus on one thing they love and some people focus on one thing they hate, and like there's enough there for everybody.
A very funny comparison point that I have is actually the movie Rat Race.
That's actually a good movie. Holds up.
Well, yeah, I like that movie a lot, and I don't think I've really
banger.
talked about this in an interview yet. But like, I use that as a sort of example where that movie is like 10 different styles of comedy, and each storyline that you're following is like there's a stoner comedy bit, there's an I Love Lucy riff, there's like more of your classic rom-com.
That is true.
There's a family vacation bit, like, and each plot line has its own style, but you're never spending too much time with any of them. Whenever you've been like with one plot for 5 minutes, you jump to the next, and so it doesn't really matter what you're into, you're gonna get what you like eventually. So our game has a little bit of that DNA where it's like, hey, every 20 minutes you're gonna have a different style of comedy being thrown at you. It can't just all be one thing for 20 hours.
Yeah.
Although that would be a good bit, 20-hour bit.
Right.
We've made it to Circuit Arcadia, the city of the mall, and some other POVs here, POIs, sorry. We've collected our sick-looking map here. What was kind of the inspiration behind this city? Was it based on like a real-life city that you kind of wanted to alienify, or was it something out of fiction or from your own brain?
It's just so I technically from our brains when we were doing initial ideating and concepting. I really wanted to do something opposite of what we did in the first game, so something that's really clean and white and clinical. I wanted the city to feel like a pharmaceutical company owned it, so there's not as many colors or weird things as we had in the first game on purpose.
It has more like a techno-fascist vibe than the first game.
Exactly. It's like oppressive in its cleanliness, I guess. And so I'm a massive fan of an artist called Sid Mead. I'm sure any sci-fi nerd knows Sid Mead, and I've always wanted to do a ring sort of, or I guess a ring city. I don't want to call it a parody because it's not necessarily a parody.
Halo's not the only one that's done it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a scientific concept that's
maybe
inevitable.
they named their whole game after it, sure, but
They could have, but theirs is a halo. Ours is a ring.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I was also
purposefully
thinking of
on there.
the Gundam, like those are more like cylindrical, but those are really cool too.
Yeah.
That was in my head.
Yeah, and so then we knew what we wanted, did some concepting, passed it over to the design team, and they kind of started blocking things in, and then we didn't know in the beginning that the skateboard was going to be so integral to the game. So the city went through a few iterations where we had to expand parts and integrate ramps and different things. So the layout changed pretty significantly a few times as the game developed.
The world is kind of secretly a skate park.
Yeah.
And there's like we found this subreddit called Tony Hawkitecture where like people are pointing out real life geographical locations that look like you'd be able to skate them in a Tony Hawk game.
Oh, that's such a good subreddit.
Yeah, it's really fun. And like, I mean, that's kind of how the Tony Hawk games are designed anyway. So we're just kind of taking nods from that. Yeah,
we haven't spoken about it too much, but obviously skateboarding new for the second game. But I mean, I've heard you guys speak about it. Maybe some people in chat have as well, about you guys kind of wanted to include skateboarding in the first one, but it's really fun as someone who sucks at Tony Hawk's and skate games. I was more of an SSX player, and I really enjoyed the skateboarding in this one.
SSX too.
So GG.
Yeah. This was like, honestly, this was one I was terrified of, and early on, Eric and I wanted to bring over. We looked at the first game. We were like, what are some things that we thought were really cool that we'd like to try here? And one of our concept artists at the time, Sean McNally, who's, look him up, amazing concept artist. He went to go start a new company. They did, I think it's called Wildgate. Is that what it's called? Wildgate? That one that it's Wild something. I'm pretty sure it's Wildgate. But anyway, with some ex-Blizzard guys, they started this other company and made this cool game, but still love Sean. And so I'm just calling him out because he did this great concept. He did basically an animal skateboard. It was like a little centipede that rolled up into a ball. And you could ride around as a skateboard. And so that was our starting point for it, was like, oh, maybe there's a character in the world or something. And then it eventually evolved into, okay, it's a vending machine that sells real skateboards. And then from then on, it just kept evolving and integrating more and more and more. And we hit a point where we're like, okay, this actually works. We didn't think it was going to work this well.
Committing. Yeah. Like at one point, the skateboards were going to be like disposable items you had to like
exactly.
And then if you lost it, you'd have to get a new one. But like it became a permanent part of the toolkit pretty early on because once we realized it could replace Sprint, I think is where it all kind of
that's where it clicked. And then right before we did Gamescom, we had been talking about, some of us thought you don't need to like opt into grinding, like just land on a thing and you grind, and some of us wanted to opt like to make it a button press to get into grinding. And so at the very last minute, we were like, I think Alec was the last person to call it out, like I think it would be more fun. And it was something I was wanting for a while. And so now having two of us, it was like okay, let's just try it. And this was like right before Gamescom in that demo, and we put it in as just to try it, and immediately it clicked, and we were like, there's no going back now. Like you just land on stuff and grind. And between that and the sprint, I think it makes this really fluid gameplay feeling, and you don't really lose the feeling of sprinting really. The general vibe of the skateboard is pretty close to the sprinting from the first game. It's just like sprinting plus all this extra stuff you can do, so it really doesn't get in the way. And we're nervous it was going to be hard for people to learn, because when you work on a game for a long time, you get good at it. And so we were all good at it. It felt easy, but we didn't know how other people would feel. And when we got to Gamescom, like the first play test we did, everybody got it immediately, and we were like, oh my god, did we do it? And that's one of the things I'm most proud of the team for, is like, this is a genuinely new mechanic in a shooter, and it's a really challenging mechanic to get right. And thankfully we had people committed enough
to everything, including the combat. And I mean, there's a really cool move that we landed on where you can like launch your skateboard at an enemy, stuff like that really naturally comes out of having a skateboard in combat. That I don't know. There's not any other shooter doing exactly that. It's really fun.
And there's also a little secret shop, a skateboard shop, where you can get cool mods for your board too. I won't spoil where it is, but it's you could get to it relatively early in the game, and then you're kind of collecting these Tony Hawk letters throughout the game. It was a joke we wanted to do that, and I tried to make them look as close as possible without getting in too much trouble.
I mean, later on you get to see where they were made too.
Yeah, and you get like there's a whole story around why they look the way they look and everything. It's really fun. But yeah, so you can use those letters or like a material that's special that one of the NPCs can use to craft like mods for your board. And the mods are really fun. So it's definitely worth getting the letters and spending them.
It's not the it's not. Is it on the? Is it by the beach?
Yes.
It's by the beach.
I've been there.
Okay.
I've been there. I'm
sure.
It's not that big of a spoiler.
It's not. I mean, it's not a spoiler, but in world, it's a secret. So I don't want to lose that feeling.
This is cool. You guys have a full Spencer's.
And as of now, I think most Spencer stores, at least in the U.S., are going to have.
I saw my mom earlier in the week, and she was decked out with High on Life stuff that she got at Spencer's. I was like, I didn't even know it was in the stores yet.
I'm so excited to go to my local mall and.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna try and go this weekend.
Yeah, you guys need to go and be like, see this This is me. I did
gonna
this.
annoy the people working there, being like, "Did you know that I worked on this?
Yeah,
Did you know?"
So
I'm actually kind of a big deal here.
Funny story with Spencer's. We had Space Applebee's in the first game, and in this game we were like, "What's another like?" And this is no offense to Spencer's, I'm sure they know this. What's another like kind of dumb, corny restaurant or store or whatever? And so we picked Spencer's, thinking like that's so funny, that's like. People who know Spencer's know that's a really funny thing. I think
it needs to be like, it has to occupy a very specific part of pop culture where it's like beloved and a little bit out of time. I think they would admit that. Like
everybody loved it at some point.
Yeah.
But so we had already planned that, and we were already doing it, and so we had some merch that we were doing for the first game, and the company who did it also did stuff for Spencer's. And so our biz dev guy was like, let's just talk to Spencer's. And they might have even reached out to us. I don't remember exactly, but the timing of like us wanting Spencer's and then Spencer's wanting to work with us, which we had that wasn't something we wanted when we did this. We weren't imagining we don't care about corporate partnerships or anything like that, but in the case of Spencer's, the idea that just the serendipity of that moment, we're like, actually this could be really funny.
We got some good accidental synergy there.
And
there's other stuff we don't ask permission for, and I won't reveal.
There's a lot.
Gotten through, but
but Spencer's we have permission for, and then I guess it's not really that much of a spoiler. There's
came as a package deal with Spirit Halloween.
So Spencer's owns Spirit Halloween also, and so where
really, because is it in one of these shops here? I saw it and I was
it might not be open yet.
It's not
I think
open yet.
You can't get to it until later, but
after you do the cruise mission, that's when it unlocks and you can come back to the mall, and both Spencer's and Spirit Halloween are like an insanely accurate recreation of the real ones.
That's so cool.
Which honestly, that's it's not even a joke, but it's really entertaining to walk around in a video game version of a store or a restaurant you've been to before.
Yeah, it's so surreal.
The Applebee's in the first game was always making me laugh. Just the fact that we went through and lovingly recreated a digital Applebee's.
Down to the actual dishes straight off the menu and everything.
Exactly. So we wanted to capture that again. There's a couple other things like that in this game, or some that are not quite one-to-one with a real place but are close.
That's so good. What's the best menu item at Applebee's? I've never been, sadly.
Oh my gosh,
not yet.
I couldn't tell you.
Gut buster. I don't know. Diarrhea maker. I don't know what they serve there. I mean, okay, wait. I take that back. Applebee's is great. Don't sue us. I love Applebee's.
Immediately saying that they give you diarrhea.
I mean, everything. To be fair, I'm in my 40s. Everything gives me diarrhea. Yeah,
Mikey's just got a bad body.
I'm literally. I've been having diarrhea this entire time.
No.
But yeah, no.
Guts. Sorry.
That was the place I used to take my girlfriend when I was in high school. So we would always get the brownie sundaes, which can't go wrong. So that would be my recommendation if they still have them. But I haven't been to Applebee's in a long time.
We were trying to do like an Applebee's launch party for the first game, but it was a little too hard to coordinate or figure out how to do.
Yeah. You know what?
Probably it would have been a weird choice anyway.
Didn't they do an episode of the other two where they built a fake Applebee's?
Yeah,
I feel
something like
that. Was in the other two.
Right.
Like it was after we came out, luckily. So
maybe I'm confusing it with the rehearsal where they also built a bunch of fake.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think it was in. Oh yeah, it was like something about keeping. What's her name?
The mom.
Character. Yeah.
What is her name?
Feeling like
Mary Catherine Gallagher. Yeah. Molly Shannon.
What'd you call Mary Catherine Gallagher?
Yeah. I mean, that was her famous character from SNL that people know her for. But yeah, Ken was in that show too, and his performance in that show is the thing that like really solidified we wanted to get him in here.
I mean,
so funny.
Party Down is one of my favorite shows.
Party Down too, yeah.
Ken Marino as Ron Donald in Party Down, one of the best characters in TV history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true. To the second season when they come back, that character reveal, incredible stuff. And so here's an example of a corny joke, by the way, if you want to see there's humor for everyone. The little dead skeleton there, that's like
so
touch the car. It's one of those jokes where I'm like, ugh, but then so many people love it.
Never noticed this.
Yeah.
It's so
this
good.
Completely went past me.
Yeah. It's for the people that love like the sort of like earnest, obvious humor, which is not my bag, but so many people love that. Every time like someone play tests, I'm like, did you notice the skeleton? Is that funny to you? And everyone's like, that's so funny. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, to our team's credit, like, it's not just the writers putting jokes in, the art department, designers, like, everyone is kind of throwing gags, and sometimes they're not quite a good fit, but most of the time we're just like, yeah, let's leave it in. This is great.
Yeah. And this joke lands for everyone I've seen notice it, so I don't remember. Maybe it's a Colby joke. I'm not sure, but either way, like it works for a segment, which is great about our game. Is just we allow that.
It reminds me of like the Fallout jokes where like you go into a vault and there's a ramp and then you see like a skeleton in a crashed motorcycle, like a skid mark on the ceiling. Yep.
There's a lot of fun environmental storytelling.
Yeah.
If you come back to at another point, there's a janitor up there you can talk to.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's in there now, but he's got some really funny dialogue.
I think everyone goes out after the fight in the mall. You have to come back later.
Okay, yeah. But definitely come back at some point when you're playing on your own and check it out. It's fun.
Yes, will do.
He's the one that used to be a king. If that,
and
okay, I won't spoil it. Yeah, that's right. Yes, I love that bit.
It's
a fun one.
I know I asked the question earlier, and obviously there's lots. Like I'm really enjoying like all of the insights, or at least the secret bits that you probably would miss playing it, because there just is something in every square inch of the game that you guys have built in, which is great.
Yeah, and we're always gonna be sneaking stuff in patches and stuff too, and like you know, we can't resist. So some stuff we'll call out, some stuff we won't. So there's usually like the game's going to have little new things as we support it. And we plan to support it, you know, for forever if we have to, you know, like we want to get it stable. We want to get like a good player base that's into it. And then once people have started to finish it or exhaust some of the content, you know, then we'll start thinking about like what more can we do to give the players a little bit. You know, I don't really want to do any kind of like full DLC. I just think the juice isn't worth the squeeze these days, but we'll still get little things here and there that I think players will really appreciate.
Yeah, there's some, I don't know if I should, there's some tiny things we wanted to fit in that we're going to be throwing in soon. Yeah, there's a really important one that seems small that has if the game sells well enough to justify a sequel, what we're planning to bring on board will, you know, tie into that a little bit. So maybe even a lot, but that's as vague of a teaser as I can give without giving I don't
too
want
much
to say anything else.
Chat, that's a CTA. Go buy High on Life 2.
Yeah, just keep your eyes out. Yeah.
Keep your peepers peeled. A reminder, chat, I haven't mentioned it since we started, but thanks to the lovely Squanch Games, we are giving away some really sick High on Life 2 press kits that include a little tech deck so you can skate with your fingers. You can dress up in some cool Humanza Pro merch.
I actually have one right
There it
here
is.
I can show.
Ooh, wow.
And then here, I'll crack it open. I'll do an unboxing right here so you can see
Telemarketing,
what's
let's
in it.
go. Thank you.
So, okay, so we made the inside is this pizza box. So this is
Nice.
like a fast food restaurant in the world. There's also Crust Theater. That's the name of the theater. When you go down there, that's part of this. Okay, so here inside,
Wow.
ta-da,
So nicely packaged.
we got this Humanza Pro beanie with a little prescription on the back.
Yeah.
We got this thing people are really into. So it just looks like normal whatever, but then you open it, and on the inside it plays. It plays
thing
this
is crazy.
trailer here.
It's a full
Yeah.
video.
Yeah,
That's really sick. Whoever thought
Yeah.
of that?
that's
Big kudos.
Shaddy. I think his title is merchandising director, but if not, sorry, Shaddy. But Shaddy's another ex limited run guy that we brought on board to help out. We're trying to expand our merchandising, as you guys saw with the Spencer stuff, and then
Sick.
we're working on some other fun stuff. And then okay, so tech deck. Let's see. This is the tech deck. Here's a little box.
That deck.
So pretty.
So this skate then die drawing is like something I drew personally just for fun, and then when we were designing the skate shop, I was like, I already have something for this. I don't care. Let's just use it, and it worked out. So and then here's the little tech deck inside. It's very nice. Let's see, pharmaceutical identification badge.
Very important.
And here's a little inside joke for you. When I concepted this thing, it was all of Michael Jordan's stats, so his name and weight and all that stuff. And so I had made this fake alien language, and so we converted all that stuff to the alien language. But you can translate it. There's people out there who know how to translate it, and so it's all Michael Jordan's stats.
That's so cool.
And I don't like basketball. I just couldn't think of anything. I was tired.
If in doubt, Michael Jordan, 100%.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
wanted to ask that because obviously we got the map for Circuit Arcadia. So are you saying like all of this alien language? Did you guys actually write the alien?
It is translatable.
It's
yeah.
like translatable, yes.
Wow.
Yep. And that language is everywhere. And it's man, I don't know what I was thinking with it, but I'm glad we did it. It actually makes sense when you in my head, because I know like this line means this line means this, but really it's just a font, it's not like a crazy.
It's just a cipher.
Yeah.
It's wingdings.
It's fun. I mean, speaking of puns, I don't think anyone who ever plays it will know this, but the language is called Spano, which is
Yes.
Mikey's last name.
Oh.
That's another
so
one. I was like, I don't know
cool.
what to call it. And Spanish, I took a lot of Spanish in high school, and I speak a little bit of it. And so when we were joking about what to call our currency, for some reason my brain always goes to Spanish stuff, and so I said pesos. And so the currency in the game is called pesos, which
that was like it's kind of like the gag of which religion was right, like which currency was right. Pesos
Exactly.
turned out to be the one
Yeah.
that everyone in space uses.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So here, wheels, skateboard wheels,
So
special Squanch Games. T-shirt, a very cool T-shirt that is very green.
Beautiful.
Too hard for me to open it up, but it's cool. This little bounty juice koozie that goes over a can.
Oh.
And there's actually original art and a little story on the back about the ingredients and
forgot about
stuff.
the
So it's really funny. I love it. And then it's just some stickers, and then this thing I think is really cool. It's a little USB drive that's shaped like a pill. And I think it's like press kit stuff on there, but I don't remember. But it can be used for anything.
Full Dolphin emulator with all the GameCube games.
Yeah. And I actually have something else that I want to offer to give away to you guys.
Oh.
Grab it.
Where could I go?
Let's see. Okay.
A surprise. Chat, you're being treated so good today.
This is a real skateboard deck that they are impossible to find right now. And so I have an extra one, and I want to give it to you guys to give away on the stream. So this is it. Very cool, very highly sought after. So Yeah, good luck.
Thank you so much, Mikey. Well, there you go, chat. !HOL2 to enter the giveaway to maybe be in with a chance of winning one of our press kits or that super limited edition rare High on Life 2 skateboards that we might give away or we might just keep for ourselves 100%. No, joking.
Nope, gotta give it away. Gotta give it away.
Rats. Thank you, guys. That's so kind.
Anytime.
Alrighty.
Happy to give it away. I think it's really cool, and I want as many people to have it as possible.
Have you are you both quite big into skateboarding? Like, have you always skateboarded yourselves?
I like skateboarding video games. Not a skateboarder in real life.
Yeah. I used to be a hardcore skater for a long time, but I didn't go to college. I finished high school early, so I got a job at Ubisoft like when I was 18, and so I just started working, and just skateboarding kind of fell off because I was working all the time. Every once in a while, I'll get out there. What is?
Jobs are the enemy.
I know, 100%. Yeah, and then I had kids, and then all this other stuff, and it's like you just get tired, and you know, you kind of turn to concrete.
Walking out at the office and getting bored in the parking lot of the office.
Yeah. I mean, I did do that many times when I worked at Ubisoft, but over time, you just forget it.
I could ride a ripstick. Do you remember?
Oh my god, yes, I do.
They're kind of like two bisecting wobbling.
Yeah, I used to ride the version of that before the ripstick called a snakeboard.
Oh my god.
And that thing was really fun. But yeah, and a lot of the people at the studio have either skated or still skate. I know we have a couple people that actively skate at the studio. You know, Tim Robinson is a really great skater. Yeah. People don't know that. So it's just like kind of in the DNA of this kind of lowbrow alt comedy stuff that we do. It's just a lot of weirdos who were drawn to skateboarding and then drawn to alt comedy.
I think we got some of like, you know, that Neversoft energy back in Tony Hawk games. We got a little bit of that in our company.
Yeah.
That's sick.
That like punk, goofy, raunchy game dev spirit.
Yeah, last time I skated, I was able to just pick up the board. I hadn't skated in maybe like 15 years, and then I tried it and like was able to still do most of the tricks, just much stiffer, much stiffer version. And I took my kids to the skate park to teach them how to skate, and my son broke his leg the first day.
No, oh my god.
And he's a badass at everything, and I didn't even know, he didn't say it for like a week, and I was like, dude, you've been limping, are you okay? And then he had a freaking spiral fracture in his leg that he was just walking on for like a week. He's insane.
Poor guy. Oh.
Yeah.
I went
he's a beast.
Yeah. Has anyone put the press kit wheels onto one of the High on Life 2 boards then? Have you got like
not yet. I need to pick some trucks for it that will go along with it. Maybe we'll figure out a way to get some special custom ones.
That would be cool. Now, who should we go for as our first bounty? I would like you guys to choose.
Let's do the harbor mission with Craig. I think we've been talking a lot about Ken, and it's a really good example of Ken just crushing it.
Yep.
True.
And so this thing looks really shitty, right? But that's on purpose. Yeah, like we wanted it to look like a really old busted TomTom. Again, another joke for millennial adjacent people. Prior to having cell phones with GPS, we had these horrible devices called TomToms that you had to like stick on a suction cup in your car. And so that's what we but I really wanted this to just feel like crap, and it's great. It works perfectly.
It's so good. I agree. I disagreed. I agree.
But yeah, I saw you had like a little blurry thing when you were scrolling. I don't know if it was the stream or not, but that's a bug that we're going to be fixing here pretty soon if you're seeing it. I'm not sure exactly what's causing it, but we're looking at it.
You guys are on it.
If you hit Larry Pinkstock, we'll go to the harbor, but just so you know.
Oh shit, that's right. You don't know it's Craig.
Well, I wanted to ask a little question about, we've spoken a lot about kind of getting inspirations from maybe other things, and a lot of it seems like it's definitely, you know, out of your own heads, but how do you kind of like come up with an idea and then go and research that or flesh that out? What inspirations do you look for? What research do you take on from, I guess, other mediums, or even in terms of the game development side of things? What do you look at when you're going through that process?
Sure. I mean, I could talk a little bit about, like, we talked about the comedy, but from a story perspective, it's really all coming from the premise itself. Like in this one, the bad guy's Rhea Pharma. So we thought about every type of bigwig you'd have that's connected to Rhea Pharma, and all of the missions sort of were built out of that. Like we thought there'd be a billionaire, there'd be a corrupt politician, and where would that take you? The corrupt politician would take you to a political convention on a planet full of other conventions. And the billionaire would probably own a part of this ring and have his own cruise line and have his own like Margaritaville style restaurant. So it's all kind of spawning from these starting points of bigwig evil pharma, that world, the satisfying fantasy of like infiltrating it and sort of taking down everyone connected to it. So a lot of like the early levels especially came from that, and then as we get deeper into the game, we start to throw you more curveballs. I won't spoil everything, but like you won't always be going on a mission specifically to hunt down a Rhea Pharma person. Some missions will turn into something else entirely. Some bosses might even surprise you.
Yeah, we like to kind of throw the player off where possible. So you might think you're heading into one thing, and then we're like, nah, let's try something else. And then it keeps people on their toes. At least the first time they play, you know, there's a lot of surprises.
Yeah.
Yeah, these first two missions with Larry Pinkstock or Muppy Doo are a little more like tone setting by the books. You're taking down Rhea Pharma bigwigs. The other ones will look like that, but
yeah, I think things kind of go off the rails, which I love. But yeah, so the cruise ship level here, this was the first thing that we did to prove out just how we wanted the game to work and like figure out our pipeline and what we were going to try to do. And so this was, in gaming, we have something called a vertical slice, which is like, imagine you're just playing a full game and you just grab a slice of the game, pull it out to play. And so that helps us figure out all of our like mechanics, at least most of our mechanics, like the rendering, just pretty much every aspect gets touched. And so the cruise ship was the very first one we did, and we knew right away that it was going to be great. Like it was something, again, like a little cleaner than what we've done in the past. We wanted it to feel really rich, and so it was a bit of a risk, but I think it really paid off. Like I feel like we've elevated the graphics so much since the first game, and some of the cleaner stuff allows the lighting to breathe and really off some of the new features.
And this mission really shows off a little bit of everything because it's got like multiple big environments, a lot of fun combat, and some like honestly 2 or 3 completely unique narrative experiences. Like one is this little drunken bender you go on with Travis, and then later you'll do a whole murder mystery, and those are, you know, paced out between lots of combat.
And then even the people you're fighting are all new, and they have their own story. If you listen to what they're saying as you're fighting them, they're telling a little story about how they're like ecologists, animal lovers, environmentalists, like whatever you want to call it. They're basically like Greenpeace that loves animals.
And they're also bounty hunters. So
and they're also bounty
now. Yeah.
So it's like a biker game of like vegan activists basically, and like some of them have tattoos, like Craig especially has a tattoo, and there's like a lot of info in their design of like, you know, I think one of the tattoos says vegan, and like there's just some other stuff, and there's little posters and flyers around, and so they're a menace to you, the player, but not necessarily a menace to the world, because, you know, they're kind of fighting the good fight.
And here they are, Bark Boys.
The Buttons Gluttons.
And yeah, these were the first new enemies we made.
I love these guys.
We have these like simple Muppet heads for everything, like kind of like, I always imagine they're like a little puppet.
Yeah.
So that's why they have those wide mouths. And so I had a concept artist named Dan Levisi, who I mentioned before. He painted these guys up, and he painted this like crazy Muppet hair. And there are 2 things that I think I hate, right? And that's hair and noses. I don't know, that I always feel like they're unnecessary. And so Dan painted this up, and the guy had a nose and he had this big hair. And then at that point I was like, you know what? I think I might like hair now. And then now there's lots of characters with hair, and you'll notice they have noses too. So it's just one of those things where you bring somebody with a little bit of a different perspective, and then things get improved, and, you know, you get more variety.
we're innovating with noses, characters.
Yeah, that's a big feature of the
Noses
second
are
game. Is
new.
characters have hair and noses.
That's a large improvement.
Yeah, and yeah, our character team did such a good job this time around
There's
executing
so
on
many.
these.
Yeah, this mission especially has a lot of unique characters, including Thurston Goodwell, who is voiced by John Waters. Suit shop owner.
I love him.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I really enjoyed the character design for all the murder mystery party guests as well.
Those two. Each of those are unique, completely one-off characters. Really fun.
Yeah, they went through a couple iterations, and then one of our concept artists, Sean, who's incredible, like the key art that you see for the game with the guy skating, Sean painted up the character, and then Jeremy painted up the background, one of our other concept artists. And so Sean came on board, and we were kind of struggling with the character designs, and Sean knocked it out like immediately. Like things I wouldn't really have asked for, I kind of gave him free reign. Like the character with the huge boobs, like that's the kind of thing I would avoid normally.
Yeah.
And he drew it, and I didn't want it. Like it's like the whole potty humor sex joke thing. I'm always averse to it until somebody shows me a version of it that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And-
like not even a joke. It's just
It's just how she
exaggerated
looks.
character.
Yeah.
I know,
She's an opera
natural.
singer. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we actually had in the vertical slice, she was voiced by Gabby. But then when we decided to cast Gabby as a gun, we recast Oberon, who's the one with the big boobs. And we got this actress that
I love her
made
voice.
us laugh because the voice was like, obviously English is her second language. So there's like a little bit of that. But we were just like, this is kind of really funny. And there are a couple lines that just kill me because the delivery is so funny.
Yeah, her name is Valentina Latina, and it is such a funny performance. She
Okay.
did such a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, for a little
all
bit, I
of
was like, I don't know. And then once it was in, it was like, okay.
All of our murder mystery guests. I mean, yeah, we had Michael Cusack, who does Knifey, also did one of the murder mystery.
Oh, he's the
Richard-
prince?
Yeah.
Was
Yes.
it Richard
Oh.
Richard the 12th, the 13th? Is that right?
Richard 12th, the 8th.
The 8th. Okay, Richard 12th, the 8th.
The 8th.
Sorry, I have a terrible memory.
I thought it was him,
That
but
joke I'm so used to now, but that's one of my
Yeah,
favorite jokes in the
yeah.
game.
I know the 12th. Richard 12th is what I remember in my head.
I didn't
But
want to
yeah,
be Australianist and just think it was the same person. So.
No, we have Michael Cusack, and we also, I want to shout out Tom Walker, who's another Australian comedian, and Demi Lardner, who I think we didn't get her in this game, but we love her. She was in the first game.
And Gigi Edgley is in here too
Gigi
from
Edgley, of course,
Farscape.
yeah.
I did a bad job.
But yeah, we realized in our DLC we had a lot of Australian actors, so we leaned into it, and in that campaign you end up going to a alien planet called Australia 2, and everybody on there is Australian, and that's Knifey's homeworld is Australia 2, and like has nothing to do with Australia on Earth, just coincidence.
Yeah.
I loved that bit. I thought it was funny,
That is a funny bit.
and that
There's
planet
a
turned out really
quick
cool.
little joke in this game where someone mentions Wyoming, and someone goes, "Space Wyoming?
Yeah.
Is there a space one?" Like, yeah, there is.
What's up, dude?
We made it
So
to
there's a
the
game,
sky.
a arcade game there that you can. There might be a jamming board around that you could take back to quarters. I won't spoil it, but yeah, you can play any of these at any time,
Oh, yeah.
and they're full on real games.
I had to go at Radical Rex earlier last week on stream. I will say I was really bad at it. I'm sorry.
It is not possible to be good at it.
Okay,
Don't worry
good.
about it.
That
yeah.
makes me feel better. Thank you.
Yeah.
Attacking you before. No hard feelings.
And another fun thing here, I've got some artists, some artist friends that I love that I asked to do some designs for us. We contacted them for the game. Well, this one I drew, but but the other ones are there's some of my friends named Lurk. If you've never heard of Lurk's art, amazing. Skinner did a lot of the ones you're seeing here. He did all the stuff for MurderCon, all those murals you see.
Oh, cool.
But Skinner's amazing. You should check out his stuff. And I know he has some video streams and stuff that he does too. But we have
a typo.
a few people mixed in. And then there you go. There's the Barney Sizzler deck with Julian on it.
I want that so
Yeah,
bad.
that one's
I
so
need
funny.
to
Yeah.
save up Barney Sizzler.
And then Greg from Creature Box that I was talking about earlier, he did the Bounty Juice design.
Sick.
Yeah. So we just kind of like if someone is cool and like kind of in our vibe, we always find a way to bring them on board to do something.
That's amazing. That's so cool. How do you like? A lot of it you mentioned about just being in the same circles or whatever. Do you ever kind of have do you guys have a High on Life Discord or like social channels and stuff that you've interacted with people before like that?
Like a community Discord? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jump on in. We'll pop in from time to time.
Yep, we've got Instagram, Twitter, everything else, and Jordan, who is effectively our marketing team. One person, and we hired her as an intern, maybe 6-7 years ago, and she's just been crushing the whole time and carrying like pretty much all of the marketing coordination and everything. So she's pretty good about posting and responding and getting people the right info. So yeah, there's definitely communities for people who are interested.
That's so cool. And
I get people just DMing me like on Instagram, and I try my best to respond to stuff. So, if anybody wants to DM me, I'll at the very least, I'll say, hey, or thank you, you know what I mean? But if I've got the time, yeah. So yeah, we're pretty open about stuff. So please don't be shy.
That's sick.
I'm online a lot. I love it. I love it.
Same.
I know it's not great, but I love it.
I know I can't stop. I need help. I'm trying to read and just end up scrolling.
There was a journalist recently that took a break from the internet for a year thinking it was going to improve his life, and he said it was the most depressing, horrible year of his life, and he was wrong, and that the internet is absolutely essential. Yeah,
that's like exactly what I want to hear.
I mean, I see it as like an extension of your body. You know what I mean? Like your phone in your hand, you're basically an android, right? Yeah. You got a device that's attached to you. And like it would be like losing a sense, it would be like if you went blind or something. That's how it would feel to people who've grown up with this stuff. It's like it's so ingrained in every aspect of our lives.
Well, it's also like sometimes I go to a restaurant now and I need my phone to access the menu, and it's like, Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, by every definition, we are technically androids right now, or I guess cyborg maybe is the right word.
Cyborg, yeah.
Cyborg, the one where you're like part machine, part human. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're cyborgs.
Did you guys research any or like have any particular inspiration when it came to like the aliens or some of the tech around the game as well?
Yeah.
Go for it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
You speak to any aliens? I said that as if like you researched specific alien species.
Yeah, we actually just met. We went to space. We met a bunch of aliens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are ways to meet aliens, I'll tell you that much. I've met my share. But the first step is Muppets. I always try to draw from Muppets. Okay. Like Knifey is basically hairless Elmo, if you kind of put them side by side. And
you should explain the slider, the Muppets.
Yes. So when we were making the first game, people had a really hard time understanding like the art direction and just the general vibe of the game. And I just could not express it properly. And so I made the Jim Henson Scale, which was like Jim Henson's head with one of his ears just stretched all the way out like a bar. And then for every location, every character, I showed Labyrinth, like this is Labyrinth. They've got humans, they've got puppets, they've got, people in prosthetics, like they have everything. And it works. Like it's cool. It looks great. No one questions all these different elements. But for some reason, when we were thinking about it in the game space, it's like, well, there's no consistent style if you do that. But in my head, there's a consistent style. It's just hard to convey that. And so we use the Jim Henson Scale to say like, okay, the guns are on this end, which is, you kind of go from like puppet all the way up to human. And so we would just kind of put a little location, like this is more of a Muppet, this is more of a human, and just kind of picking. And that helped tremendously. That was the thing that really clicked with people.
It was kind of like Jim Henson on one side, Blade Runner on the other. And
yes, and then the vibe for the game itself was like, what if Jim Henson had made Blade Runner?
Amazing.
And so that was the key thing. That was like the elevator pitch, I guess. Yeah. And then once we got the first piece of key art to kind of support that idea, you stick it next to it, and you're like, oh yeah, this makes sense. This is easy. But getting there by just explaining what's in your head is very hard, surprisingly hard. So aids are always helpful.
That was one of the selfish questions I wanted to ask because, like I can't even fathom how you guys kind of even describe how you want that to look. But Scale makes so much sense. Just having two like contrasting things and being like, make it Jim Henson, but modern. I love it.
Yeah, Jim Henson is like one of my favorite people that have ever lived. I mean, I know there's weirdness in his personal life a little, nothing too bad, but just everything he does is so, or did, was so creative and weird and unique. And when I saw Farscape, I don't know if people have seen Farscape. It's a big inspiration for this game, and it's a show where it's like mostly Australian production. So if you're into Australia stuff, that's where you go. But it had some of the coolest. It's like a Star Trek, and it's like sort of grounded, overly sentimental nature. Like it doesn't hold up super well now, but the visuals really hold up, and the concepts really hold up. So we pulled a lot from there. You know, a lot of ideas.
We even have two actors. Yeah,
we got
Gigi Edgley and Wayne Pygram.
Yep.
Farscape vets.
Yep. Wayne Pygram plays Dr. Gurgula, who's like the sort of Palpatine in the background of everything. Where we have a delivery for, like, we are gonna deliver on him, but we've teased long enough, I think. But not in this game. We just kind of kick the can down the road a little bit more. It's all on purpose. But we'll be ready to tell his story soon. Yeah.
Drinks by the beach.
But in terms of reference for aliens, Dr. Gurgula, he's roughly based on an alien from this movie called Fire in the Sky, which that movie scarred me for life when I saw it as a kid. So scary. And so from then on, I just had this weird phobia of aliens, which I guess is why I'm thinking about them so much. But yeah, so if you look up the aliens in Fire in the Sky and then put it next to Dr. Gurgula, you'll see it's like a pretty close inspiration.
It's great exposure therapy to get rid of that fear, I would hope, for you.
Yeah, just make them all cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now as an adult, I welcome it. Like, I wish I would get abducted. I just want it so bad.
So if anyone's listening, if Jack Black, Jack Black, Danny DeVito or aliens are listening,
yes, please.
We're
Either
here,
of you.
guys.
We don't care which one.
No.
Pick up Danny DeVito first, and then come grab me.
There we go.
It would
Get
be really
abducted
fun.
by Danny DeVito.
Yeah, that would be even better. I mean, he could be an alien.
And we've got Ken Marino here waiting for us.
Ken
Oh
Marino.
yeah,
Little
please.
fun drink.
This is
I
our
love
fun
this.
little montage where you get to hang out with Travis for the first time.
Let's do it. Let's bend.
Travis became my favorite character in this game. Favorite to write, favorite to play with. I think it's really fun to write a pathetic, weaselly scumbag who you kind of can't help but love anyway.
I know. I was going to say lovable scumbag. One of my favorite, not tropes, but character types. Archetypes, yeah. I love his mustache.
He also has the
as well.
most complete arc out of any of the guns, I think. You get to like kind of take him through his whole rocky marriage.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I think initially what I was picturing at least was like, I don't know if Observe and Report, I don't know how popular that movie is, but
I love that movie.
A Seth Rogen movie, and he's like just this guy that takes being a mall cop really seriously and takes it way beyond what a mall cop should do.
Yeah.
It's kind of the taxi driver of Danny McBride.
Yeah, that's right. And so I imagine that like somewhere between that and Paul Blart, that was kind of the original idea for Travis, but as he kept getting developed, he got way more nuanced and relatable and just felt really good. Like he feels like a friend, which is really the goal with this stuff.
He does. Yeah.
But yeah, like typically with these characters, they evolve significantly as they get written out, and sometimes we'll go back and change the concept to match where they've gone. Sometimes we don't have time, but in the case of Travis, we had a pretty good sense by the time I did the concept of, who he was going to be, kind of the pathetic, like comb over and the little mustache, and just really trying to play up like a guy going through a divorce who hasn't been out in the world much, since being married. Which comes from, personal experience. Yeah, it's funny. This whole story is like, so similar. Like there are so many beats in here that are similar to people's lives at the studio.
There's a lot of divorce in this game. A lot of
yeah. I guess that's what was on my mind, and maybe other people's. But
I don't know what I'm drawing from. I haven't had to deal with any of that.
It's even funny because Alec wrote a joke where they asked Travis like how old he is, and he says he's 43, and they're like, "That's the saddest age of all." And Alec didn't know, but I actually am 43, and so I was like, "Did you write this about to make fun of me?" And it was just like it just happened.
That was so real honest exploration of what is the saddest age to be.
And you know what? You're not
I
wrong.
think it is 43.
Shout out to all the 43-year-olds.
Yeah.
I think after 43 you start to get your dignity back, but right at 43
it's a tough age. Yeah, but luckily I act like I'm 12 years old, so it doesn't really matter how old I am. But it's just a funny coincidence when your life accidentally is like written about, and you're like, oh man, okay.
Serendipity.
There's a joke Julian and I really like that I kind of don't think you would really even notice if you're not one of the writers, but there's a part of the game where someone at a cult has to ask, like, we can't let you in unless you know someone who's really pathetic. Do you know anyone who's really pathetic? And you can pick which gun to answer for, and all of the guns say Travis, except Travis, who says, no, I don't think we know anyone like that.
I absolutely love that bit so much.
Can I ask a gameplay question here? Because I played this the other night. Like, is there actually aim here? Am I aiming? Oh,
yeah,
can I get different scores?
Oh yeah, I get bullseye every time.
Yeah.
And there's also lines if you hit some of the passersby that people go.
Yeah, you can throw your darts at people.
They were tricksy. I didn't want to because I'm kind like that, but maybe this time I will for science. To hear the dialogue, and that's the only reason
our NPCs can feel real pain. I know.
I know.
Yeah.
I
it's
think
all real.
We have our employees hooked up to shock collars every time someone hurts an NPC in the game.
That's why the game is so good. We're in ecstasy the whole time. The bit about Creature being real in the first game is one of my favorites, and it's so rare. Like, if you leave Creature idle for a while, he's like, hey, like, I'm real. I'm stuck inside here. Like, get me out. Like, can you help me get out of the game? And it was so unexpected the first time I heard it. It just cracked me up. It's like one of my favorite jokes in the game.
That's there's another line like that in this one where if you just sit there with Creature out for a while, it was really Tim like Robinson really pulled off this like long monologue about how you can't care about him. You need to have other things in your life.
Yeah,
he's not a real guy. You got to go and get out there again.
It's so good.
I'm a fake guy. You can't care about me.
Some of Creature's lines are my favorite by far. Like, they're so good.
He's my favorite to write for. He's like the closest to the style I like to naturally write.
Totally.
Hey, you're doing a great job in this drawing.
This is impressive.
Thank you. No! Sorry, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, we should. I always wish we leave that up longer because I want to see people finish their drawings.
I know.
But yeah, sorry.
That would have been a masterpiece. I wanted to ask what it's like writing for the different I guess actors as well as the different characters. You mentioned it earlier about, do you write more towards the actor and then the character, or is there a mix of both?
For the guns, we're writing to the actor, and I mean to the character. Of course, it needs to still fit, but like I'm really thinking about what each of them does really well and how to bring that out of them, how to play to their strengths. Like Tim is really good at kind of confidently saying sort of ignorant or weird things. And Frankie is really good at just like kind of rambling on and trying to calm people down and, hey, don't worry about it, bro, it's okay. Like that's kind of more his style. And Ken Marino is so good at just being a asshole. Is the way, like he can play a dickhead really well. And so the more buffoonish shit we can write for Travis, the better, I think.
Yeah.
And Gabourey, God, if you give her a loud, angry monologue, she will blow it out of the water. There's a thing she did in the first game where she plays a slug that you can beat in a race. And we let her improvise for like, I swear to God, it might be 10 minutes.
It was my favorite record I've ever seen. Like, we were all speechless at the end. It was crazy.
That's what it's her forever. That's why she's back, because we love what she brought to everything.
It was awesome.
I have this extra ticket, right?
I love when he's like, "This is crazy. This is crazy." It's so funny.
This performance, I mean, Ken
Incredible.
like his intro to Travis, he plays like a drunk guy, he plays an angry guy, he plays a sweet romantic guy. Like he covers every ground.
Yeah, he really has an arc that's funny, and he then kind of that arc plays out, and then he just kind of reverts back in a way that feels really natural.
Yeah, there's only so much story we can fit in a game like this, and I feel like some of the guns don't get to do as much, but Travis is one that we were able to fit an entire full arc in for. Like, Bowie, you get kind of close to the end of the game. You don't get to spend as much time with him. I wish we had a little more, but Bowie gets a fun subplot with Jar Jar Binks that I really love.
I love the Jar Jar Binks stuff, yeah. But yeah, we kind of emphasize the newer guns for like telling their story because they're kind of new to the crew. So most of the story with like Sweezy and Gus, we told in the first game. So we kind of have some beats, but really the emphasis is on these new ones. And
they're kind of your rocks, yeah. I mean, Creature gets a fun story beat at the
Creature
end.
does get a good story, yep.
Expanding his story in the comic book we did, and that's canon. It pays off a little bit in this. You don't have to have read it, but
well, guess what? You can read it in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can find pages of the comics in the game and actually read that story. So
I've collected a couple so far, only 2, but that's sick. The full comic is in game as well.
Yep.
Wow.
All written by Alec.
Wow.
So it's all
Drawn by
like
Kit
full
Wallace,
canon, yeah. And then we had some friends and people at the studio do covers for all the comics. Like I've actually got some.
Yeah, they're so cool.
Those are all like High on Life comics over there on the wall.
You frame them all? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I just bought like
That's
a stack
so
of comic
cool.
displays. But yeah, it was really cool to see everything like in a physical form. Like that's something that gets lost with gaming now that it's digital. You don't really have a lot of like physical artifacts to go along with it. So I always like having stuff in my hands.
You guys do a really good job of translating that, I feel like, with the press kit as well as like the comic like you're speaking about. Is there something else like in game that you kind of wish was in real life, you could have in real life?
A lot of stuff, and we're doing our best to actually do all the things we're excited about eventually. But there's some fun stuff that is already in the works, and then some stuff that I personally would want to do as we get further.
I want us to make Hammerbird hammers so bad.
Oh,
They're
that'd be
so
so good.
cute. Little plushies of those. Yes, please.
No, I'm saying functional hammer, real usable.
Yeah, like I want them in Home Depot and Lowe's. But yeah, the Hammerbird's really cool. That would actually be really fun. I always wanted a knifey, like I don't know if you remember those ice cream toys, and you would like push a button and the ice cream would pop off. I wanted to do one like that for knifey, where knifey's the base and the knife like pops off the top because of how tethering works. That's one I've wanted to do for a while that we haven't really done yet.
I want more toys. Yeah, I mean, we have such
toys.
toyetic design sensibilities that I feel like...
I'll send you something after this, Alec. I think you'll get excited about.
Oh, please. Okay.
Yeah. No spoilers.
I want to mention that I did go and save that guy over there. I want some kudos for that. Thank you.
Good. I love that bit.
He's so cool. And also the drawings on Sweezy's face when we woke up. Incredible.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I don't know who did that.
Legendary.
Like, it showed up one day. One of the artists must have just done it as a gag. And they were like, cool, leave it. It's great. It's really funny.
It's so good. She's so cool. Right. I'm going to get up to the cruise liner. And then, sadly, we've got to wrap up quite soon for the stream. But I wanted to ask, is there anything else you guys want to say to chat before we go? Sadly, I've had so much fun.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
we really appreciate your support. This game is... I'm really proud of it. We stuffed it full of every idea we could think of. And I want to make more stuff like that. So thank you. You allow us to keep making this stuff.
Yeah. I'm really appreciative of people that are interested, and like, everybody should know we're fully committed to just keep working on it until, it's perfect. So we're going to still be doing updates and stabilization patches and try and, as we find people who are running into issues that prevent them from playing, we're like hot fixing as fast as we can. So we're very committed to giving people that play the game the best experience possible. So
we made a big game with a small team, and we really appreciate you.
Small team, small budget, small time, like literally everything you can imagine. Despite it looking like a AAA game, it is very much developed by a small indie team with a small indie budget. So there's it's an insane feat. If you knew what went into this game, it would be shocking. And
I want to shout out our whole team. Like, I mean, it's crazy what we pulled off.
It's wild. Yeah, and we're not done. We're just gonna keep going, make sure everybody's happy, and like I think the game is so good that anything preventing people from enjoying it is a problem that we want to fix. So I'm really excited about, hopefully hitting another 20 million people that get eyes on this thing, because it's very unique, very weird, and very well done in my opinion.
There's one of my reminder lines.
That's the beauty of Alec is if we have something that doesn't make sense or needs a little quick explanation, we're can Pseudo just say something, and Alec can just knock it out.
I don't voice Pseudo because of talent. I voice it out of convenience. That way we have someone on hand at any given point of the day to just add a new line into the game to help the player.
Fortunately, you do have talent, and actually, there's a great plot line through the game where it's shown off. So
I get to do a little more this time. It actually flex some acting chops later.
It's very impressive. And Pseudo's little arc through the game is again an early thing we wanted to do, and I'm really happy with how it landed. It turned out really cool.
Same.
Amazing. Well, guys, thank you so much. Mikey, Alec, thank you for your time. Chat, thank you for watching. We've got a couple of winners here to announce, but before I do, a reminder to go and check out High on Life 2 if you haven't already. I know some of you guys have already been enjoying it a lot, just like me, but seriously, we've barely scratched some of the surface of the things that you can find, as the guys have explained, and there's so much more for you to enjoy. So go and pick it up, go and play it through Game Pass, or pick it up from the Xbox store for sure. Guys, thank you so much again. I've had a blast here on this Friday. No, thank you.
I really appreciated it. I've not done a stream this long. It was cool. It felt. I was afraid there was going to be so much dead air, but there's so much to talk about.
Dead air. Could have
talked about this all day.
We could extend this if you guys are free. Clear your schedules. We can go.
I'm done. Let's do it.
I gotta pee.
Do it on stream.
Yeah.
There's a pun, Alec. You might have wrote something
stream
like that.
Stream on stream.
There you go.
Come on, I'm a better writer than that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, that's why I hate puns, is because those are the puns that I would write.